Esteemed guests of honor, august speakers, eminent principals, and respected faculty of various colleges, distinguished delegates, and my dear friends. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all in the National Conference, Emerging Trends in Science and Technology, Challenges and Opportunities, jointly organized by Tolani College of Arts and Science and Knowledge Consortium of Gujarat. Tolani College of Arts and Science is committed to quality education and service to the community. Established in 1962, the college has completed more than 50 years, imparted education to lakhs of students, and we are proud to say that 3 times NAC accredited, leaving an indelible mark in the field of education on the map of touch. So welcome you all to Tolani College of Arts and Science. It is a tradition that we begin every auspicious ceremony with lamp lighting. Light symbolizes brightness, prosperity, and positivity. In spiritual word, light means life. May I entreat all the dignitaries to come forward for lamp lighting.
Vishwaraaya Vindaya Surapriyaya Lambodayaya Stikalaya Jagatvitaya Nadayanaya Shrutiyagya Vibhushitaya Gauri Sukaya Gunanath Namo Namaste Gauri Sukaya Gunanath Namo Namaste
Thank you. Let's invoke blessings of Goddess of Wisdom with Saraswati Vandana by Jimil, Diksha, and Mansi.
Yadevu Sushale Bhale Bhavana Yashubhavasavana Yadina Deve Sada Vandita Samapadu Saraswati Bhagavate Sheshagarya Shuklam Vichar Sar Paraman Madhyam Charadyam Tine Veeram Pustak Bharim Bhayatam पद्मासने संस्थिता वन्दे मां परमेश्वरी भगवती बुद्धिप्रदा शारदा बुद्धिप्रदा शारदा शांति शांति शांति।
We could feel divine blessings and positivity in atmosphere. Now I request all the dignitaries to please come on stage. I will request our chief guest, Mr. Nitapur Das Gupta, keynote speakers, Dr. Samadhan Tekar and Dr. Vaibhav Mehta, GCP Infrastructure Head, K. Venkatesh Varlu, with Principal Sushil Dharmani, and Dr. Kalpesh Swaratia, Dr. Dinesh Kodria, to please come on stage. We are blessed today with the gracious presence of Shri Nitapur Das Gupta, Deputy Chairman of Deepdayal Port Trust, who has given his valuable time to us. May I request Professor K. Venkatesh Varlu to honor his kind presence. Welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. We are blessed today with eminent speaker, Dr. Samadhan Tekar, Dean of School of Sciences, Sanjeevani University, Koppal. May I request our principal, Dr. Sushil Dharmani, to honor him. Thank you, sir. We are immensely privileged to have with us Dr. Vaibhav Mehta. May I request Dr. Kalpesh Swaratia to welcome him. Thank you, sir. Now may I call upon Dr. Sushil Dharmani, Principal of Tolani College of Arts and Science, to deliver welcome speech.
नमस्कार, सुप्रभात। उपस्थित मंचस्थ महानुभावों, छात्रों और साथियों, विनती करूंगा मंचस्थ महानुभावों के नाम पर एक नजर डाला जाए, क्योंकि जहां नीलाद्र हो वहां वेंकटेश होते हैं, जहां वैभव होता है वहां समाधान होता है। इसलिए आज इस विज्ञान की संगोष्ठी वाकई में आशीर्वाद लेकर चल रही है। जैसे कहा जाता है कि मानव जितना परिवर्तनशील और कोई नहीं, जो क्षण क्षण पल पल बदलता है, और ऐसे ही मानव का विज्ञान मानव को छोड़कर आगे बढ़ गया है। इसलिए आज जब हम लोग इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड्स इन साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी विषय पर चिंतन करने बैठे हैं, तो ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज एक बहुत ही सुंदर व्यक्ति जो टेक्नोक्रेट है और इमर्जिंग ट्रेंड्स को लेकर चल रहे हैं, ऐसे दास गुप्ता जी डीपीए से डेप्यूटी चेयरमैन हमारे साथ हैं, जिन्हें मैं अभी से विनती करता हूँ सर, मुझे आपका कभी 1 घंटा चाहिए। अन्य यूनिवर्सिटियों से पधारे हुए हमारे साथी मित्र जो हमारे लिए नए चेहरे नहीं हैं, जो समय समय पर हमारा साथ देते हैं और सदैव हमारे वेंकटेश सर, आप सब लोगों का हार्दिक स्वागत है। आप सब लोगों का हार्दिक स्वागत है। आशा करता हूं कि यहाँ से जब हम उठे बाहर जाए तो हमारे सामने एक रोड मैप हो। आप सब लोग वाकई में जो हमारे पीएम का सपना है इंडिया 2047 विकसित भारत, कुछ विकसित भारत में हम सब लोग वाकई में एक सक्रिय साकार भूमिका निभाएंगे। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for welcome address. Now, may I call Dr. Kalpesh Sorathia, IQAC head, to throw some light on the theme of seminar.
Namaskar. Good morning to everyone. The guests and the experts present on the dais, faculties and younger friends of the dais. On behalf of Tolani College of Arts and Science, I heartily welcome you. Today, I have given a responsibility to brief about the conference. Government of Gujarat built an institution called Knowledge Consortium of Gujarat (KCG), and this institution KCG in keeping the mind the vision of our Prime Minister, the Viksit Bharat 2047. They have announced different schemes by which the students can move towards the Viksit Bharat. Among which schemes, one is the organization of seminars and conferences. So we took a privilege and we applied, and ultimately we got total 5 events, including 2 national workshops, 2 national conferences, and 1 international conference, which is going to organize in February. Among 2 conferences, one was of arts that we finished yesterday, and today is of science. The topic is emerging trends in science and technology, challenges and opportunities. So in today's world, if we see the geopolitical situation of world, it is like a chaos. The big countries, the developed countries, they just want to become a number 1 country. America, Russia, China, everyone wants to become number 1 country. Then what about India? What about Bharat? When we talk about Viksit Bharat, we have a target of India 2047. What is that? So by keeping 2 things in our mind, first, emerging trends in science and technology, and second, Viksit Bharat in 2047, we organized this event. For a developed India 247, the Viksit Bharat, the Vishwaguru Bharat, what is requirement? What are the requirements? So out of number of requirement, one is science and technology. By developed science and technology, by more and more research, by more and more innovations, and by more and more inventions, we can lead the world in science and technology. our past was very, very good. Our ancient Indian traditions, ancient Indian science were excellent, but by the times we forgot our traditions, our science. Then the question arises now what to do? We have youth. The biggest mass of youth is present in India, but they have a problem. They don't have any direction, they don't have any facility to perform. They have potential. You have potential, but there are some lackings. So we try here to fulfill that those lackings. So we have organized this conference to provide a platform to students, researchers, teachers, and all other stakeholders to come here on a same platform to share their ideas, to present their work, and to work together for to fulfill our mottos, our thinkings. We invited our speakers and our guests. Here, our guest, the chief guest, who is the deputy authority, his IRS officer, his well-literate person. Dr. Samadhan Dahikar is here, his team. He has immense experience of research. We have Dr. Vaibhav Mehta. So each and every person present on the dais are expert in their own fields. They will share their experiences, their knowledge to you. And you have to follow those instructions. You have to keep in mind the vision India 2047. You have to work hard. You have to work innovatively. So for development of India, we, the teachers, alone cannot do anything. We need an immense support from the whole teaching fraternity, including the students. But the India, or why the Indians can do this? Why the India can lead the whole world in 2047? So there are developed countries like America, like Russia, like China, but they have development, they have technology, but they don't have any ethics. While ethics are in our blood, ethics are in our traditions, ethics are in our history. So India can lead the world by means of combination of science, technology, and ethical issues. That's why to provide a common platform, we have organized this event. Thank you.
Very well said, sir. There is no field left untouched by science, but it has become challenging also. And we are fortunate today that we have galaxy of intellectuals to ponder on this subject. Now, the most awaited time, where all the participants will see their papers published in abstract book. I would request all the dignitaries to please unveil the abstract book. Unveiling of abstract book, where all the participants can see their papers, the abstract of the papers published. And we will give e-format later on where you can scan and see your papers. Huge round of applause. Thank you all the dignitaries. Now may I request GCP Infrastructure Head to please come and deliver his speech. Sir always gives us constant support and motivate us for more activities.
Good morning. Respected Deputy Chairman Dinda Airport, Mr. Das Gupta and learned faculty from Mr. Samadhan, Dr. Samadhan, and Dr. Weber, and Principal Dharmani and faculty friends, and dear all friends. It is a great opportunity to conduct these sort of seminars for your improving your academic excellence. Friends, today world is changing at greater pace in science and technology. You might have heard of artificial intelligence and number of other things. We are going from the fossil fuels to renewable energies. There are a lot of changes coming in the world, and this is the time, and this is the opportunity. There will be every opportunity will be having some challenges. This is the time where you can focus and you can excel. And I hope you'll be doing in this. First of all, I congratulate all the team, Tolani Arts and Science College, for organizing this seminar. And also, congratulate you all for doing the excellent work. You are getting a lot of opportunity, but the focus, as Dr. Surati has rightly said, the buzzwords are innovation and creativity. The rapid change of technology going on in the worldwide, and to keep pace with that and find out the solutions and excel and make our country proud, it is one of the challenge and also opportunities. You'll have a lot of opportunities at Gandhidham Collegiate Board. We try to inculcate and also support all the research and patents. And sir, I like to tell you, there are a lot of research work and patents by the faculty of the Science College of Tolani Arts and Science. And you know, Gandhidham Collegiate Board, our trustee, our mentor, we are guided by Dr. A.H. Karo, who is former director IIM. And he was also provost of Ahmedabad University for 2 terms. He always talks with me. I tell him, sir, अगर गुजरात में एक अच्छा साइंस कॉलेज देखना है तो he talks about NJ Science. तो उनके अंदर आता है अहमदाबाद यूनिवर्सिटी. I tell him कि ये तोलानी आर्ट्स एंड साइंस कॉलेज का फैकल्टी और स्टूडेंट्स उससे ज्यादा एक्सेल करते हैं और उसके लिए रीजन है. If you want to evaluate any university or college, हम वहां पर ये देखते हैं टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेसेस के अलावा वहां कितने रिसर्च पेपर्स लिखते हैं, कितने रिपोर्ट जर्नल्स में लिखते हैं, कितने वाइड वैरायटी ऑफ टॉपिक्स में लेटेस्ट टॉपिक्स में लिख रहे हैं और साथ साथ में कितने पेटेंट्स कर रहे हैं. और वो सब आपके कॉलेज में काफी ज्यादा अच्छा है और आपके कॉलेज के मित्रों को भी मालूम नहीं होगा. ये मैं बहुत सीरियसली फॉलो करता हूँ. मैं हर कॉलेज में कितने रिसर्च हुए, कौन कौन रिसर्च पेपर्स लिखे हैं और रिपोर्ट जर्नल्स में कितने लिखे हैं, स्कोपस में कितने लिखे हैं और उनका स्कोर क्या है और साथ साथ में उनके कितने पेटेंट्स है. तो आई कंग्रेचुलेट ऑल द फैकल्टी एंड आल्सो द स्टूडेंट्स. यू आर हैविंग वाइड स्कोप हियर and we are trying our utmost with the help of DPA. Sir, I should acknowledge and thank DPA. आपको मालूम होगा आपके कॉलेज के लिए भी हमने ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स कर रहे हैं कि वी आर डूइंग स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम. दीनदयाल कौशल विकास योजना के अंतर्गत हम स्किल डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं which will fill the gap between the industry and academia to this region. उसके अंतर्गत हम आपके कॉलेज के लिए भी काफी प्रोग्राम कर रहे हैं जैसा कि ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन में आपके केमिस्ट्री के विद्यार्थी भाग लिए हैं और काफी रह गए क्योंकि बहुत उसमें रेस्ट था और उसका हम रिपीट करेंगे। वो 3 इयर्स का हमारा डीपीए स्पॉन्सर्ड है, डीपीए ने हमको उसके लिए स्पॉन्सरशिप दिया हुआ है 3 साल के लिए करने के लिए। एंड प्रेजेंटली मेनी ऑफ योर स्टूडेंट्स आर डूइंग सेफ्टी इन पोर्ट ऑपरेशंस। आपके काफी विद्यार्थी सेफ्टी इन पोर्ट ऑपरेशंस कर रहे बिकॉज सेफ्टी इज वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट इन कमिंग डेज इन एनी इंडस्ट्री इंक्लूडिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्री। मार्च में हम नया एक लेजिस्लेशन आने वाला है, जैसे हमें लीगल लिमिनरीज जिसको हम बुला रहे हैं वो कह रहे हैं कि सेफ्टी इज वन ऑफ द प्रीरिक्विजिट फॉर वर्किंग एनीवेयर इन एनी कंट्री। फ्रेंड्स, लोग कहते हैं कि गांधीधाम कॉलेजिएट बोर्ड क्या है। गांधीधाम कॉलेजिएट बोर्ड के अंतर्गत 7 कॉलेज है, अब 8.5 और लगभग 600 सपोर्ट स्टाफ है और इट इज फाउंडेड बाय काका प्रभुदास तोलानी, which is 65-year-old campus। और ये कैंपस कच्छ में इट इज द ओल्डेस्ट लार्जेस्ट कैंपस कच्छ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में। We teach from diploma to PhD. We are having many science courses and also in arts and commerce also, and engineering, management, pharmacy, law, all these things. So we aim to create a hub in future so that the people having wide variety of knowledge of the other colleges can take the advantage of other colleges also. And either the placements are very good over here. And also the extracurricular activities and co-curricular activities, as you know, many of our students are playing for state level and also some for national level. And co-curricular, we are having 3 platoons of NCC, that is in Army, Air Force, and Navy also. And every year, our student will be part of that Republic Day celebration parade. Every year, 2-3 students from here are participating. And we also have for spiritual and that we are earlier we were running that Ramakrishna Seva Kendra, and presently that we have given to Belur Mutt. It is Ramakrishna Mutt now presently. So in a 5-year, and we also conduct various programs. In addition to that, we are having a Anjana Hazare Community Development Center where we provide various training courses free of cost. We get CSR and other different fundings from there, in which we got DPA funding also for 3 programs of that in villages of Perth, so that they get self-employment or will make them earn something. And low category, the campus is very vibrant in a 43 acres. The buildings are old, sir. The buildings are very old. But हमारे हौसले यहाँ जो काम करते हैं उनके इतने ज्यादा बड़े हैं कि हम ये हौसलों से और इसको और आगे लेके जाएंगे। And this will be the one of the best campus not only in Gujarat, in India. और इसीलिए लोगों को हम कहते हैं, जैसा अमिताभ बच्चन जी कहते हैं, कच्छ नहीं देखा तो कुछ नहीं देखा। कच्छ में तोलानी कैंपस को नहीं देखा तो कुछ नहीं देखा। थैंक यू ऑल।
It was TCAS vision that students don't have to migrate to metro cities and we can get education here. Thank you, sir. We are immensely privileged to have Deputy Chairman of Kanda Port Trust today as chief guest, Mr. Neela Prakash Gupta. May I request him to address the gathering?
Distinguished faculty members, guests, eminent personalities on the stage, faculty members of the institution, guests who have joined us for this occasion, and my dear students. I'm very glad to be part of this inaugural session for today's seminar. I believe that a seminar of this sort, of this nature, is not simply an academic event. It is also a very interesting confluence. If there is two-way participation, often there will be sessions or probably a monologue or a presentation, as it happens with any seminar, where a paper is being presented. We may think that it is a one-way communication where the expert is trying to present his body of knowledge or his work. But I'd be glad if today we achieve a proper two-way communication where when that is happening, when somebody is speaking from the stage, from this platform, there is a connect on the other part. Because without the connect on the other part, without achieving that complementarity, where the speaker has a connect and ignites a certain curiosity, a certain thinking in the audience, no seminar or conference can be successful. Now, coming to the main theme, science, scientific temper, that is something that is there as someone spoke in our history. Thousands of years ago, there was maybe a Bhaskaracharya writing a mathematical treatise, or maybe an Aryabhat who was looking into the skies and doing some abstract theoretical concepts of how the planets are aligned. Maybe there was a Panini who was writing the Ashtadhyayi, which we are today looking at computational algorithms to see how the morphology and the syntax of that grammar closely approximates how we try to code our logic while we pursue AI solutions. So it is there in our culture. It has always been there in our culture. Even our culture begins its day with a prayer to the sun. Now, it is the only star that is available to us to give us sustenance. It is the only source which translates into what we understand as light, and any source that can help light to propagate. And in the morning, we offer water. We pray to the sun. It may be a religious symbol for many, but at the base of it lies a deep scientific understanding and a deep logical delineation of what life processes are all about. We understand that somewhere in between, maybe, we have not been able to focus or take forward the pace of scientific temper and scientific thinking in the same manner or form that we talk about when we talk about our great ancient scientists. But even in the modern times, we have had stalwarts. We have had C.D. Raman, we have had Jagdish Chandra Bose, we have had a lot of stalwarts who have given India a place of significance, a place of evidence in the scientific community of the world. Closer home, closer to the recent times, we have had many luminaries. We have had APJ Abdul Kalam. Now, why is this scientific temper very critically important at our present modern times where we stand today? As someone said, the goal before us laid down by our Honorable Prime Minister is that of Viksit Bharat. And Viksit Bharat can be achieved only through Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now, Atmanirbharta today is on various verticals at various places. We know in India we face a lot of challenges, and therefore Atmanirbharta is something that we have as a necessity, not a luxury. But I would point out from today's seminar point of view two very important verticals which are extremely important for any scientific inquiry to look at. One is technological independence. If we are not a technologically independent country, we will never be able to self-actualize, we will never be able to achieve what we have set out for, what we have thought that we should become. And the second is energy self-reliance. So if you see the history of nations, these are two important pivots which have decided when a nation actually realizes its potential and becomes what we call a developed, an independent nation which is capable of taking its own decisions. And this is very important as a concept to understand for the students here. Maybe today you are not part directly of impacting a decision, but you will definitely be a part of impacting or being the decision tomorrow when you come out. You graduate into where your actions mean something directly for the country or its policy or how the country moves forward. So on these 2 points, I believe that science and technology is the only bench, the only platform, the benchmark on which we can test our technological independence and our energy self-reliance. Now, coming closer to what I represent, the organization that I represent, the India Court takes its goals very seriously in both technological independence. And let me also add a word of caution, maybe a little bit of a difference with one of the speakers, because this is a seminar for science and we should all be very honest. Technological independence does not mean technological isolation. Similarly, small word of caution, it does not mean that we say that others don't have ethics. No. There's a lot to learn from the West. There's a lot that has happened there that we have embraced. Ethical innovation, ethical research, ethical lines of inquiry are always suffering from the vague line where we don't know where science can transform into something that can destroy. At the same time, each scientific line of inquiry also has immense potential to help mankind, to give a lot in sustainability, in taking growth and development forward in a very ethical, in a very proper, meaningful manner, which takes humanity forward. And therefore, if we have to grow, we have to become independent, but we have to be always open for collaboration. We have to be always open for partnerships. We have to open our doors, and as our Prime Minister always says, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world is a small family. And as India reaches out, it cannot close its door and think that it will reach its own potential. It has to understand its potential while joining hands with all those who they might have had a little more of maybe an early bird advantage in science and technology, in energy independence, in self-reliance. So at India Code, we take this very seriously. As someone spoke, we have the India Kaushal Vikas Yojana. We are committed to foster the scientific temper, scientific inquiry. At our own port, we are looking at sustainable solutions. So we have gone ahead with the commissioning of the first megawatt scale green hydrogen plant in India. We have also now tendered out for new renewable sources which are not as of today that famous or realized in the national sense of the term. So we are looking at biomethanol. We are looking at e-methanol. So this is from the energy self-reliance point of view, where we want Gandhidham, Kandla to be the hub of the next renewable energy revolution. We already know that there's a lot of solar power and a lot of wind power innovation that's happening in Kutch. Similarly, we are also looking at alternative sustainable modes of cargo transport as a port. That is one area that we are really interested in. Therefore, we are looking at electrical as well as other non-fossil fuel modes of cargo transportation. So we are looking at the linear induction-based motor movement or even maglev, magnetic levitation, which can be used to move cargo from one place to another without having the intensive carbon footprint which fossil fuels bring. We are looking at on the waterfront whether we can, we have already ordered the first Indian, we are the first port to order the electrical EV tug, which will be a craft which pulls ships. So usually such crafts they guzzle a lot of fuel. So our idea is that we should also be able to remove the fossil fuel footprint from the vessels, from the ships. We are also looking at how we can position ourselves, the Indian port, as a major bunkering hub. A bunkering hub is a place where many ships who don't have fuel come to refuel. And in the future, we want Kandla, Gandhidham, to be a global bunkering hub for renewable fuels. We're also looking at reducing our footprint on the land side. So we're looking at rapid, you know, independence from fossil fuels of all the heavy equipment that we have on the shore. Maybe the automobile cranes, maybe the trucks that are moving. We get close to 9,000 trucks moving every day. So we are exploring how we can shift to maybe an EV mode of movement. Maybe in the future, we can have hydrogen fueled vehicles. Apart from that, we are also building a center of excellence, and we will be very happy to invite Purani College to participate and be and use that facility for fostering more R&D. And as someone mentioned, that is an idea that we have to facilitate the intersection of academia and industry. Now, I think come back to the fact that why is this important for the audience here? Maybe it's not that important for the faculty or people like me who have now already charted our course and we are on our daily jobs, on our daily hectic lives. But there is a huge amount of potential that this brings for the students here, for the people who are aspiring to add to the growth story of the country. Now, all these points that I have pointed out are areas that we are moving forward. While we move forward, what we require here is not only funds, but also excellent, curious, fascinated, scientific students with scientific temper who can carry this mission forward and be a part of this journey. So I believe that today we are at a very exciting time in the nation, in the state, here in Gandhidham. These are exciting times, and more events like this will foster more and more curiosity. I hope it ignites a certain scientific kind of inspiration, a certain kind of it takes your aspirations forward, because you should always dream big. There will always be challenges. Every one of us who's sitting here has their own stories. It's not that we come from a separate planet. All of us have come from this same country, have faced the same challenges. That's a given. And the challenges will only become even more difficult as we move forward for higher studies. So we always jokingly talking about Murphy's law, that whatever has to go wrong will definitely go wrong on that day. And this is a presumption that we usually work with. But then when you are giving your examinations, you're always ready. You are ready for the worst case scenario. Similarly, never think that there is lack of resources or there is lack of possibilities outside. We have to take that as a challenge and reinvent. Any scientific invention or innovation was not brought about by going with the current. It was inevitably brought about by going against the current. When you question something, when you say, no, this is not enough, I need more. So I believe that you have a very good set of faculty, you have a very good set of an incubating kind of an ecosystem. The work is there. We will help you with whatever can take this particular thread forward. And I'm sure that if we put in our effort together, if we are simply restless, if we take ourselves and our work seriously, and if we want to pursue our dreams, regardless of what happens outside, we will definitely succeed. With these words, I'll conclude my address today. I wish the organizers all the very best. I congratulate them for having this very, very significant and important event. And I hope that whatever are the objectives of this event are not only achieved, but a lot more is achieved today in terms of the inspiration that it can ignite in the young students who are the scientists of the future. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and enlightening words. And I'm sure your words have brainstormed and made students have a critical thinking about it. And it was invention by Edison. You all know how long it took, how many times it took, and then that invention was done. So all the students of science, you are also like today, you can have that brainstorming and think about how you can pass that current and do new inventions. I hope somebody is sitting here in 2047 with us. That brings our end to inauguration session. Thank you all the eminent guests for giving your valuable time to us. And now we will begin the plenary session. Thank you, all of you.
Sir, may I request Deputy Chairman, sir, please have a look at the posters that has been demonstrated.
Where do you see that?
Please. Yeah.
We will begin with our plenary session now. Your speaker, Samadhan Baker, Dr. Samadhan Baker, and Rajendra Prajapati. May I call upon Chairperson of today's session, Dr. Rajendra Prajapati, to escort keynote speaker, Dr. Samadhan Baker, Dean of School of Science, Sanjeevani University, Kopertown, to please come on stage. Our today's chairperson, Dr. Rajendra Prajapati, is Assistant Professor in M.B. Patel Anand College. He is gold medalist and has published many research papers and has 2 patents in his name. May I request Dr. Rajendra Prajapati to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Samadhan Baker.
Good morning. Morning નથી થયા ને થોડો ફ્રેશ થઈ જાઓ. Okay. Myself, Dr. Rajendra Prajapati, and I will take an opportunity to introduce our keynote speaker of this session, Dr. Samadhan Baker, sir. He is right now a Dean and Associate Professor at School of Science, Sanjeevani University, Kopergaon, Maharashtra. It is just near to Shirdi. Sir has started his career as a lecturer in 2005, and through process, he worked as assistant professor, associate professor, principal, and recently, last year in April, he was appointed as Dean in the Faculty of Science. Sir is a PhD research guide in the field of microbiology and environmental science at Savitribai Phule University, Pune University since 2020, and 2 students are doing PhD under his supervision. Sir headed several tasks and responsibility on the shoulder. Along with the deanship, he is working as a principal, ISO certification member, IQAC member, NEC committee member, academic research scientist committee. He is the convener in IIC, Institutional Innovation Council, Ministry of Energy, Government of India. Sir is an expert in probiotic fermentation, biotransformation, photodynamic antimicrobial therapy, microbial screening, photochemical profiling, bioprocess scale-up, and downstream processing. And sir would like to teach the subject like pharmaceutical, biotechnology, immunology, food biotechnology, food and dairy, and environmental microbiology. So on 8 honors and awards, including the major are Early Career Scientist Award from Netherlands and Young Scientist Award from Dubai. तालियां तो बजाओ सर. It's a glorious achievement and such personalities with us. Sir have many awards like excellent researcher for Ayurvedic microbiology, excellent in education and research, excellent
award for excellent contribution in field of uh, academics, Ayurveda, and public health research. Sir has participated in several refresher course at DP and in MOOC content development courses. And Sir has attended the 14 trainings and workshops. Sir has got the fellowship and international travel grant for Germany, 2 times Netherlands, and San Francisco, USA. Along that, he had 13 international visits, including Uzbekistan 2 times, 2 times Russia, 2 times Nepal, Dubai, Scotland, UK, Spain, Netherlands, Switzerland, Germany. Sir delivered 27 invited talks and as a resource person, and he is also an expert consultant for the NAC accreditation. Under his observation and guidance, total 22 events organized so far. Sir is a lifetime member for Swedish South Asian Network for the Fermented Food. He is a life member of Society for Applied Microbiology in London. He is a member of Association of Microbiologists of India and Microbiologist Society of India and GSES. Sir is a research journal editor in 3 major journals: International Journal of Biotechnology and Microbiology, European Journal of Biotechnology and Biosciences, and International Journal of Microbial Research. As well, began Bharti and BRSTC Bio, uh, Society of India, Biological Research of Society of India. Sir is a journal secretary in 13 journals. He has published 57 international and national papers, 1 patent, 1 book chapter, 1 book, 27 science conference he attended, and he gave the 13 oral presentations. This is the summary of only 22 pages of his CV. Then we are glad to see such person with us. The rest of the thing he will deliver his lecture and give some focus on it. Let's enjoy. Most welcome, sir. Take up the please, sir.
Good morning, all of you. Thanks to Dr. Prajapati sir for brief and nice introduction. Just we have inaugurated the inauguration ceremony of our national conference. It's the emerging trends in science and technology, challenges and opportunities. The program is sponsored by Knowledge Consultant of Gujarat, Government of Gujarat. I'm really thankful for Tolani to Open School for organizing this wonderful conference here. Today, I'm going to talk about a bio transformation of natural precursors into bioactive compounds for functional foods applications. Yeah. We know what is in the bioactive compounds. You are very well aware about the bioactive compounds, but I will just give a focus of the bioactive compound is one. The plants and their constitute a key portion in the solutions of the modern studies and knowledge on biology like technology. How come active compound is called as the bioactive compounds? So it can also called as the biochemicals. So bioactive compounds may be pellets, pellets or the pellets, organic acid, sugar, types, and they have so many So pharmacological or molecular properties already population is there, like cancers, diabetes, diabetes, photosynthesis, autoimmunity disadvantages, and so many. But important task is that the nutraceutical products in the primitive years is basically depend on what? It is stability, the bioavailability and the bioactivity. So that we can say the complete or perfect nutraceuticals. So many variety of the phytochemicals are like categorized. If you go to the sources like carrots, tomatoes, parsley, orange, like this one, phytosterols, linoids, so these are the sources of biofeed health benefits like they have antioxidant properties, then suppress growth of virus tumor also that can be cancer like this, rare cancers. There's a list of the another biofeed compounds I would like to mention here, like saponine, fibers, polysaccharides. Now we come to the points. What is meant by innovative foods or functional foods? So traditional concept is that the primary role of the diet is to provide the adequate quantity of the nutrients to meet the metabolic requirements and maintain the optimal health. But functional food is over. There has to be proved by some experimental work and addition or in our regular foods. If you add a particular biotic compounds that have a particular health benefits, and if you modify that kind of product or food, that can be also called as the immunity food. Like so, the functional foods can be also called as a nutraceutical because it is a nutritious. Designer food, we can design as per our need but health concern. Medicine foods, therapeutic foods, we can say, superfoods. Pharmaceuticals is now considered like pharmaceuticals and medicals like this one. So the functional food must remain food and it must demonstrate its effect on the amount that can be normally they expected to be consumed in the diet. It's not the pill or capsule. It's not a pill or capsule, but part of the normal food pattern. So that is the functional food like this one. So this is very popular concept in the world, like Toshi. The people of science and the microbiology may aware about it. Toshi is what? Toshi is what food for specified health uses. That is what tofu is very popular in Japan. So tofu refers to the foods containing the ingredients with the functional form, health and obviously approved to play its physiological effects on the human body. So this is the what is the general classification of the different types of foods like foods in general. One kind of foods we cannot be digital and healthy that we can take it regularly day to day. But the food with health claim that can be a we can digital a particular food can have. So that is the portion concept. So the food for specified health uses, food with nutrient function claim, and food with the functional claim. That is the three category under social. Then another is the pharmaceutical product, then quasi-pharmaceutical product like this one. And these are some properties of the approved food product, which is in Japan. Like the food to modify the gastrointestinal condition, it may contain the oligosaccharide, lactose, bifidobacteria, lactic acid bacteria, and so many. Another is like for cholesterol, then blood sugar, then blood pressure. So many health uses is there, and their purpose and their ingredients are is mentioned in another column. So these are the list of the total made of more than 569 products are being approved by the Japan by their ministry also. They contain oligosaccharide, lactobacillus, and lactobacillus bacteria. So these are the restrictions I would like to show. And these are the last year data of the 2008 numbers of name of the diseases and the probable ingredients like the bio ingredients and total numbers of active products in Japan. Recently, Coca-Cola is in around 70. They have developed the Coca-Cola also because Coca-Cola is simple, but they have added some of the fibers and some of the that they modify that kind of Coca-Cola. So no calories being stuck in the fiber of the industry. So that is also fiber. So they modified that one. So this is again one of the category of the functional food. Then these are the diseases I would like to mention here, like cancer prevention, which kind of functional foods or ingredients you can use. like another is cataract, the cavity is cold and thin. If you have cataract, then you can use the lutein. Lutein is found probably most of the vegetable like tomato. Cavity is xylitol, then cold and fuse, and that it is diarrhea. So this is a list of the decision functional foods and dedicated properly. So as you know, dear student, what is mean by properties? Yeah, properties we usually think of properties something maybe foreign disease because when the bacteria bursts up in mind, maybe a harmful, we can cause the disease and infections. But no, most of these 99% bacteria are good for health. 1% bacteria pathogens still they can cause infection. But the probiotics bacteria are the good bacteria, both good and like good bacteria. Probiotics are often called as good or helpful bacteria because they help keep our gut healthy. So these are the various health benefits of the probiotics like immunity booster, food allergy diet system like this one. These are the name of the probiotic bacteria like the lactobacillus species, lactobacillus acidophilus, plantarum, casei, brevis, vertica. Due to the bacteria it's also bacillus adolescens and so many. And I think so many probiotics products are also available in Gujarat that can be manufactured and produced by the Amul industry, like curds and so many products available in Gujarat. These are some of the probable forms of the probiotics available in market, like capsules, sticks, powder, blends, together tablets, subject like this one. This is the probiotic products. Another probiotics products here worldwide, if you say, the probiotic food also like pickles day to day we are using it. So this is the form of probiotics. Fermented tea, miso, KPA, buttermilk, or kimchi, or fry. These are some Asian and Indo-Asian product I mentioned here. Yeah. What is the metabolic concept? What is the prebiotic? So the non-digestible food ingredients that beneficially affect the host by selectively stimulating the growth and or activity of one or limited number of bacteria in the colon and then into the host health. So prebiotic is nothing but any kind of organism. It's not an organism, but these are some natural vegetables or foods that can be support or favor the growth of the good bacteria, that is probiotics. So it was first identified in 1995, and these are some of the like polysaccharide, galactosaccharide, the prebiotics we can do. They are on milk, then some vegetables like this one. What is the role of probiotics and prebiotics? Just see this slide. Probiotics is enhance the growth of beneficial microbes in the proper functioning of the microbiota, improve the host fecal system, normal cell system, like certain health benefits of the probiotics. And these are the prebiotic one, which stimulate the growth of friendly bacteria. Then again, fermentation of the prebiotics, production of the some of the short chain fatty acids like this. In both makes it, they are maintain the gut microbiota, that is the homeostasis, and regulate the metabolism. So the probiotics and the prebiotics both are very important. So these are the prebiotics definition I would like to mention here. There is a plant-based fibers or the plant-based material that is called as prebiotics. And probiotics is the part of live bacteria like the lactobacillus. Yes. So these are the prebiotic foods that you already mentioned here, bananas, nuts, that foods that they are taking in the day-to-day life. They what is the symbiotics? Symbiotic is nothing but the mixture of probiotics as well as prebiotics. Is the lactic acid bacteria probiotics. So these are some examples I would like to mention here. For example, here the polyphenol-based symbiotics is developed by Sharma and Hadwar. They have added some, isolated the polyphenol polyphenol which is rich in polyphenol, and they have added, they combine with the bacteria. So the pomegranate juice with the liquid bacteria is a good example of the symbiotic. Some of the organ, some bioactive compound plus probiotic examples that I would like to mention. Then another concept is what prebiotics plus probiotics and combination of two is called as symbiotic. And last one is called as the postbiotic is what is the byproduct of the three one. So this means it may be a non-living or the or inanimate organism and the components that come from the health benefits of the post. There is another concept that is postbiotic. And there are some synergy effects. As you know, we are taking the prebiotics that have a good benefit, but if we add in the probiotics, it can enhance the health benefits of that particular food. So that is called symbiotic benefit. And I will put the mention here. So here bioactive compounds, like the probiotics and the food, and this concept is also called as the novel concept or the unique food, we can say. So then another concept is what is the biotransformation of the bioactive compound. So you are now they know about the prebiotics and probiotic concepts, symbiotic and postbiotic is it. What is the biotransformation? Biotransformation nothing but the transformation or the fermentation process. If you ferment this of bacteria. So because of fermentation, some enzymes and some bioactive molecules they get released, and by using that kind of material, if you develop a product that called as a unique product, how more beneficial or it can be raw material. So these are some examples I mentioned here. With the property fermentations also enhance the level of phytochemicals such as phenolic compounds like peat, total carotenoids as well as the antioxidant of the fruit juices. So that is the effect of the probiotic fermentation. Generally, lactobacillus acid is also stated in the probiotic still, and that can be used to ferment to various juices. I mentioned here the name of the juices like which contain the phenolic acid fluids and alkaloids. It is prepared by the scientists. These are the phytochemicals and their role. I would like to mention here. This picture is very clearly what kind of food substrate is there. How can we ferment it? Because cheese and some day-to-day fermented food products were already using as a food. But with the help of lactic acid, if you ferment it, then the bioactive molecules will get released, and there are also such kind of health benefits that we get in the particular food. So this is the basic concept of the functional force in a biomedicine, and it's a biotransformation. For example, if you take the GOA, then we have to swallow it properly, then ferment it with the help of probiotics, the enzymes will get released, and this kind of the biotransformations of the molecules and their applications can be in a different like products or foods, drugs like this one. So we also already prepared the GOA juice in our laboratory with the fermentation of the lactobacillus plantarum and the fermented milk. After fermentation, we have tested their phytochemical, antibacterial, and anti-cancer and anti-oxidant properties. So, gamma extract shows such kind of results after the fermentation, like phytochemicals and the other one. So, here we have the phytochemical graph of the gamma extract. We before and after also. When we observe that before fermentation, the less number of phytochemicals will be. Then after fermentation, we observe the phytochemicals more as compatible. This is the quantitative analysis of the particular analysis of the fermented guava juice. These are the five conversion of the guava derived products. These kind of molecules we already identified with the help of HPLC and some analytical tool like this. So, glutamic acid, folic acid, caffeine, and vanillin like this one. These are the antibacterial activity also. We have tested by again some human pathogens like Pseudomonas, Klebsiella pneumonia, Staphylococcus, E. coli, and some of that. These are the results. These are the probable phytochemicals present and we identified with the help of LCMS like ethanol extract, acetone, and like this excel extract. Anti-cancer activity also we determined. Then we found is a good anti-cancer properties as well. So this GABA is very good for the health after fermentation of the lactobacillus. Then another beetroot that is the biotransformation of beetroot and its term for fermentation as we studied. Beetroot is very known for everyone in the day-to-day life. So we have tested it for the biotransformation with the help of lactobacillus plantarum. Then these are some molecules we identified from the fermented or biotransformed wheat root juice. And we observe some kind of results as compared to the previous one, like bacteria and how much. We also prepared the gummies from the beetroot by fermented juice also. Then this also if you take a filter as it is naturally is good, but if you ferment it, it will then affect as well. It enhances the biological property. Now, we are also trying to develop some Indian Ayurvedic product like Asava is very popular in India. They are also the propagated product. But our intention is to add the probiotics bacteria into the this kind. So the phytochemical as well as the probiotic bacteria will be a good formative property. So my previous publications on these Ayurvedic preparations, journals and masks and some decoctions available in India. We have also tested the Triputu channel also. This is the Arishtan Asam is very popular. Basically, the method of preparation with sugar and yogurt had to add and decoction fermentation to have to keep it for the particular period of time to generate some alcohol for the active. So considerations what in intro and in new experience we need to do because that bacteria they have to sustain in the GIT as well. That is a challenge. So what is the future relation to what whether we have to develop the plant-based probiotic area because so many dairy-based probiotics are available in the market in a curd form and so many. But plant-based probiotics are very less. So they are essential in the property their healthcare alternative to the dairy-based substrate. The range of plant particle measures are the critical quality indicators of the foods that in producing high quality functional foods. And there is a very big demand in the market like this. So the substrate represents the potential career for probiotics, prebiotics, and biotic being a biotechnological alternative in developing bioprocess in the current nutritional and pharmaceutical areas for optimal thing. So we need to work together on this dimension. How can we develop this plant this material? So this further research is to be done. Is new studies after fermentation of the plant as material. How can bacteria survive we get uncultivated fermented product that is an important task. So we are working with so many networking like we have a tie with the rural fertility such as Russia, Sarato University, and our collaborator of our university. Basically, these are the one most collaborator professor is like one is the rural fertility university. We are working with the food biotechnology and chemical technology. Then chemical technology and like National Dance University, it is in Taiwan. Then another is the Faculty of Chemical and Food Engineering Institute of Cambodia. We are also working with the Institute for the Bioscience and Disease Diagnosis. And then we are working with the Tokyo University and Nippon University for the environment and biotechnology. So this is my collaborator from the Cornell University in the Philippines and from the Brazil University of Bath. We have a good collaborations with Professor Mona. Professors from the Vienna, Australia. And yeah, this is Professor Helena Kovanova. This is Professor Tanya, historian. We have a collaboration with and Professor from IFR in Indonesia. So it was my visit in 2013 in Germany and Switzerland for the conference by funded by the Department of Science and Technology. I was also in Netherlands in 2015. In 2015, I was in Spain, Italy. Then I was in Scotland and in Italy in 2019. I was in 1980 Dubai. Recently, I visited in Russia 2023 at the Ural Federal University and the Saratov Medical State University here. This is the we have one the Institute of Pharmaceutical Science and Chemistry in St. Petersburg. I was there. I looked at it also in Russia. I was there for the one conference as a speaker. These are the collaborations and the national Uzbekistan. Recently, I was visited in again 2025 in Russia. The conference and impact of these studies we have received the grant of 3 crore rupees with the joint venture of the Ministry of Science and Education, the Russian Federation and our sub-university. So here I would like to mention the Central University, Kolkata, and Sarat Hospital Medical University, and Bhabatpur. And this grant for the 3 years, we are working on a bioplastic material from the some natural origin like minerals from the bacteria and some built cholesterol like this. So 1 year already completed and work is going on. This is my recent visit in Taiwan. And, People's Republic of China in the month of November. About this is my team. And most important thing, in the morning, Honorable Chief Guest and the Director has talked about the Vikasit Bharat. And for Vikasit Bharat, we need to develop ourselves as a Atmanirbhar. Okay? So, dear student, and I'm also teacher. Our aim is just to develop your capital person. How can you try to become our India as a Atmanirbhar? 15-20 साल पहले जो एजेंडा था दैट वाज ओनली एजुकेशन तो तब हमें तो 10 मतलब 30-35 साल के so that is the education was the agenda of that time of our Bharat का education but now हम विकसित भारत की तरफ है और विकसित भारत means self dependent आत्मनिर्भर so I have explored so many countries I have seen the and then your professor is also there from the Oxford University has worked there and we can compare कि हमें अभी क्या करना है right so we how to work क्योंकि हमें स्वतंत्रता नहीं है स्वाधीनता तो नहीं है स्वतंत्र मिला है हमें लेकिन स्वतंत्र नहीं मिला है हमारे लोकल जी का है कहते हैं कि हमारा स्वतंत्र नहीं है उसका तंत्र नहीं है कुछ तो develop the technology what challenge in front of we teacher as a researcher and professor तो हम टेक्नोलॉजी में कैसे करेंगे because as you know तीन टाइप्स की workers is like जैसे कि unskilled skill and professional तो unskilled मतलब इनके पास एजुकेशन भी नहीं है और कोई डिग्री भी नहीं so they are working right labor like that another है skill worker इनके पास में तो एजुकेशन नहीं है बट स्किल है अगर हमारी कुछ बाइक या कुछ गाड़ी खराब होती है तो हम जाकर गैरेज पर तो आज से कि what is your qualification they say that I don't have any qualification but even though we can repair your vehicle or whatever there is in our place but we have a not education but we have a skill तो थर्ड कैटेगरी होती है कि प्रोफेशनल कैटेगरी जिनके पास स्किल भी होती है एजुकेशन भी होता है मतलब अगर हम कुछ पे होता है तो वी आर नॉट आस्किंग टू द नेबर या हमारे पास दांत में दर्द है वी आर नॉट आस्किंग कि मेरा दांत में कैरी कर नो वी कैन नॉट गो फॉर दिस because we know that अगर दांत का प्रॉब्लम we have to go for a dentist because they have a skill as well as the education so this is the key of the skill because it's hard you know skill development so these mothers I would like to say that he हमें इसके काम करने हैं really thankful to Dr. Ritesh Kandar sir who has delivered it here for delivered it from the administration and Dr. Kalpesh sir and thanks to Sushil Dharmai sir principal of this college. I'm very thankful for listening me. If you have any questions, you can write an email or you can ask right now. Thank you so much.
Students, do you have any question regarding to this presentation? कहीं पूछे सबने? Raise your hand if you have. We will take 1-2 questions if it is there.
Yes, anyone please can ask me questions.
कहीं पूछे कि no जानू से raise your hand.
Okay, and yes, sir, please.
I just need one commentary from your side that when you say that this food which you are developing, do you need any kind of approval authority to utilize this food for the regular consumption?
No, sir. Food basically comes under the FSI, and if you want to develop it, you just take a FSI license. And if you have some pre-approved data, like for example, if you that can be a patent, but no to further license like it. There is a It is come under the category of supplementary medicine, not other allopathic or like medicine. Is under the food category. So no need to know.
So I just need a commentary for the benefit of the students
Yes.
that when they are pursuing this particular part as a research in future, at least you can comment on the regulatory aspect, that this is an ethical part of the research, which should be there. And the second commentary should be, as you mentioned, that these are used in a low consumption. So basically, if you can comment on the toxicity part of this kind of.
Right. Basically, toxicity part is because food is generally safe for we all. Next important part is we are adding a bacteria into that. But we are not taking any particular bacteria. We are taking out the probiotics that is absolute bacteria, and they are called as a grass. Means generally taken as a safe. It is a safe bacteria. So that is that can protect it from the of negative laboratories like disease or another. Also many food cultures visiting laboratories available in India and even though we can prepare from the some other countries like South Korea, Japan and so on. So these kind of bacteria we can have. If you have a development too, then if you want any toxicity, you can go for it. Otherwise, this bacterial food is no need to go for the they will never produce any toxic or toxic inside the food. But if you but they have some important things like nutrition analysis or the shape like grade we need to take. But that is very important because as a food consumer, then that is a part of the decision. But you all are students of chemistry and the biological sciences. You can get food because day to day we are preparing it and eating it. But what kind of chemistry? I give you an example like biscuit and our parleji biscuit. We are using last form 50 साल से यूज करे थे बट बाबा हम जी आए उन्होंने एक नाजिक कर दिया कि सब पतली बिस्किट ओवर के उसमें नाजिक यही था कि आटा अपने सॉरी हाँ मैंने तो आटा तो ये तो बन गया आज दुनिया का सबसे फेस्ट बिस्किट आया तो पॉपुलर बिस्किट मिलता है सो दैट काइंड ऑफ इनोवेशंस अगर आपने है वो भी हम लोग कर सकते हैं फूड इज बहुत अफोर्डेबल है I have just visited in Taiwan and in China and I hated that so many people also said. So they have developed so many foods, innovative foods. They have but no need to have them. But then using the and I know companies are also there. They are ready to type in good ideas. So many problems भी हैं जो हम खुद के जरिए मतलब नहीं कर सकते हैं चलो कि मेडिसिन का एक लिमिटेशन है जो हम आफ्टर रिपीटली यूज कर सकते हैं या उसकी लिमिटेशन है डॉक्टर ऑलवेज सजेस्ट करते हैं कि आप इंस्टेड ऑफ टेकिंग द लॉन्ग टाइम मेडिसिन आप अगर फूड के जरिए आपको करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो दैट विल द बेटर मेडिसिन फॉर द फ्यूचर यस
Thank you, sir, for your insightful talk. And we are thankful to Chairperson also. Now may I call upon Dr. Aparna to escort Dr. Vaibhav Mehta. The chairman for the session is Dr. Aparna, and she will introduce Dr. Vaibhav Mehta, our keynote speaker.
Good morning to all. We are honored to have us here, Dr. Vaibhav Mehta sir. He holds PhD from University of Leuven, Belgium in organic chemistry. He has a huge research experience in the field of chemistry. He has worked
Students with
as
scientific
fellow
temper
at several
who can carry this mission forward
organizations,
and be a part of this
and he
journey.
has awards and fellowships.
So I believe that today we are at a very exciting time in the nation,
Foundation
in
visiting
the state, here in Gandhidham. These are exciting times,
Fellowship India.
and more events
Medical
like this
postdoctoral
will
fellowship
foster
in
more and more
University of
curiosity.
Oxford,
I
UK.
hope it ignites
Alexander
a
Ross
certain kind of inspiration, a certain
postdoctoral
kind
fellowship,
of
Germany,
it takes your
and in
aspirations
others.
forward. because you should always
Dr.
dream big.
Mehta
There
has
will
more than
always be
40
challenges,
research
every one
papers
of us.
in peer-reviewed journals. He has previously worked as professor at Marwadi University. He has also worked with several
It's not that we
industries,
come from a
including
separate
Dr.
planet.
Reddy's lab
All
at
of us have
Hyderabad,
come from this
and
same
currently
country,
holds his
have
own
faced the same
consultancy firm
challenges.
guiding
That's a
several
given. And
chemical
the challenges
industries
will
for
only become
removing technical
even more
issues.
difficult as we
We
move
welcome
forward
you,
for
sir.
higher studies.
The stage is
So
yours. Thank
we
you.
always jokingly talking about Murphy's law, that whatever has to go wrong will definitely go wrong on that day. And this is a presumption that we usually work with. But then when you are giving your examinations, you are always ready. You are ready for
Good
the
morning. ઇડલી સાંભાર ગરમ હતા હો સવારે એટલે હવે તો ઠંડી ઓડી જ આવી જોઈએ આઈ થિંક રાઈટ one question which I have for the organizers કે જમવાનું ટાઈમસર બની ગયું છે because after my lecture it's directly mentioned in the session that it's a lunch time એટલે જમવાની જલ્દી જો ઉતાવળ હોય જો બની ગયું હોય તો આપણે પ્રેઝન્ટેશન એવી રીતના ચલાવીએ જો જમવામાં થોડી વાર હોય તો પ્રેઝન્ટેશન થોડું એવી રીતના ચલાવીએ so sir કે છે time to time છે so we will also try to complete now there was a request which was mentioned in the morning that one of the speakers said that when you organize this kind of a scientific talk or scientific conference the interaction should be always on both the parties. So when a speaker speaks something, you take that information, you process it, and then you should have a question in your mind. Why, what, how, when. એટલે જ્યારે આ interaction તમારા તરફથી મારા સુધી પહોંચે, that always becomes a very, very innovative and challenging task for me. What I know, જે મને ખબર છે, એ definitely હું તમને જણાવવાનો છું. પણ જે તમને જાણવું છે, એ મને નથી ખબર. So when you ask me that particular question, then I can able to answer you in a very clear way, in a very informative way, so that it can help you in your future research career, in your independent career, and apart from that, in your own societal life. Okay. Now, first and foremost thing which I want to mention is, I want to thank the organizers of this conference, respected principal sir, who has given me an invitation to come to this particular college, to this particular stage, and try to have interaction. I would not call this as a lecture. I would rather call this as an interaction between the students and the speaker, where we have got a lot of information which we can pass on to you. આ શું કામ તમારા માટે જરૂરી છે કેમ કે આ વસ્તુ જ્યારે અમે બીએસસી એમએસસી કરતા ત્યારે આવી વસ્તુ રેર હતી lack of information ઇન્ટરનેટનો એટલો એક્સેસ નતો કે આપણા મોબાઈલમાં કે આપણા હેન્ડસેટ પર આપણે જે ઇન્ફોર્મેશન જોઈતી હોય એ ઇમિડિયેટલી આપણે એક્સેસ કરી શકે now you have got all those resources પણ એ રિસોર્સિસને તમારે કેવી રીતના રિસોર્સફુલ યુઝ કરવા that is up to you. Okay. I also see there are a lot of girls over here who are now trying to aspire their future careers out of the societal terms. એટલે job એ એક compulsion છે, necessity છે, plus also it's another way to liberate yourself from your traditional ways. Okay. So going forward, as you can see, I have just mentioned the title as recent trends in skill requirement for manufacturing industries. But there is another thing also that the title of the conference, if you see over here, emerging trends in science and technologies, challenges and opportunities. Okay, challenges we all know. Challenges daily આવે છે, આપણે જાણીએ છીએ. We also try to understand those challenges, but what about the opportunities which are there for us? So I want to speak more on that particular part. I will not go into much details, but at least I want to comment. આ slide ઉપર બી શું ખ્યાલ આવે છે? We are all students of science. We have all completed 12th science, right? બધા 12th સાયન્સ તો છે જ ને અહીંયા. 12th સાયન્સ ની બહારનો કોઈ, રાઈટ? તો 12th સાયન્સ ની જ આ સ્લાઇડ છે. આ શું છે? I want an answer from somebody or a comment. આ શું લાગે છે કે આ સ્લાઇડ ઉપર આ શું હશે? Even the faculties are free to comment. Okay, the advanced researchers, anybody, I want you to actually think about it. Take your time. આ વસ્તુ શું છે? Someone? Okay. Organic compounds. Maybe we can say heterocyclic compounds because there are heteroatoms present over here. Maybe we can also say that these are kind of functional groups, right? Whether you are from biological background, whether you are from science background, even physics or mathematics, 12th science to other past study IIT. So at least we know what is OH, what is NH2, right? હવે એક વસ્તુ બીજી ફોકસ કરો. આફ્ટર કોવિડ આવ્યા પછી આપણે ડોક્ટર કરતા વધારે હોશિયાર થઈ ગયા છે કે નહીં? શું કામ? ઘરે તાવ આવે ઇમિડિયેટલી આપણે પેરાસિટામોલ લઈ લઈએ છીએ ડોક્ટરને પૂછ્યા વગર. ક્યાંય એવું લખેલું છે કે ડોક્ટરને પૂછીને જ પેરાસિટામોલ લઈ? We assume that paracetamol is safe for us when I have a fever, and if I take a substance in a controlled manner with consultation or with the knowledge of the doctor, then I will be cured. Right? Sports activity કરતા હોય, ઘરમાં ઘરનું ઘરકામ કરતા હોય, ઘણા બધા મસલ સ્પાઝમ થાય, પગ દુખે, હાથ દુખે. શું લઈએ? ibuprofen, right? આપણા ઘરની અંદર હાઇપરટેન્શન, ડાયાબિટીસ, આ બધા ડિસીઝીસ આપણે ડેલી સાંભળીએ છીએ. Paracetamol. If you put an acetyl group over here, it becomes paracetamol. This is an isobutyl benzene. If you put an additional functional group over here, this becomes ibuprofen. This is guanidine. It's the main component for a metformin drug. South simple thing. આપણી એવી જરૂરિયાત છે. But what if I tell you that in India, can you just shut down this? Yeah. Thank you. We in India do not manufacture this simple compounds. અને બનતા પણ હશે તો વર્લ્ડની ડિમાન્ડ પૂરી કરવા માટે જરૂરિયાત પણ નથી બનાવતા. We import more than 95% of this raw materials from China. અને ઇન્ડિયાને ક્યારે ખબર પડી? આફ્ટર કોવિડ. જ્યારે બધી શિપમેન્ટ્સ બંધ થઈ ગઈ, કોમ્યુનિકેશન બંધ થઈ ગયા, બિઝનેસ રિલેશન્સ બંધ થઈ ગયા, then suddenly we realize કે આપણા દેશને જેટલી જરૂરિયાત છે એટલી જરૂરિયાતનું તો પેરાસિટામોલનું સ્ટાર્ટિંગ મટીરિયલ આપણે નથી બનાવતા. બધાના ઘર ખાલી કરો તો અત્યારે આખા વર્લ્ડની પેરાસિટામોલ આપણા ઘરમાંથી જ નીકળશે. એટલી તો સ્ટોર કરેલી જ છે આપણે કબાટમાં, રાઈટ? બટ these are the challenges. Why we are not taking this kind of a simple molecules in our own country? Why we are relying on China? કેમ કે આ વસ્તુ જ્યારે હું બનાવું છું ત્યારે મને કદાચ 200, 500 કે 700 રૂપિયાની પડતર થાય છે. આ જ વસ્તુ જ્યારે ચાઇના બનાવે છે તો એ મારાથી કમ્પેરેટિવલી 30, 40, 50% સસ્તા પ્રાઇસની અંદર બનાવે છે. એટલે મને જેને સસ્તું મળ્યું હું એ તરફ વળી ગયો, સસ્તું વસ્તુ લઈ મેં મારી જરૂરિયાત પૂરી કરી. That was the goal in last 50 years since we became independent. જો ચાઇના સસ્તું કરે છે તો આપણે પણ સસ્તું કરી શકીએ છીએ, રાઈટ? શું કામ આપણે સસ્તું નથી કરતા? શું સ્કિલ નથી, લેબર નથી, પૈસા નથી, જગ્યા નથી, મગજ નથી? Everything is there. Only thing which is lacking is the willpower. The confidence to build something which is very basic. આટલામાંથી બધા બેઠા હશે I can guarantee you, I can challenge you, તમે પેરા અમીનો ફિનોલ બનાવો એટલે તમારી નેક્સ્ટ 3 જનરેશન સુધીની ટોટલ ઇન્કમ તમે 10 વર્ષની અંદર કમાઈ શકશો. Are you ready to take this particular challenge? બનાવવાનું છે, જે દુનિયા બનાવે છે એ આપણે બનાવવાનું છે, એ જ પ્યોરિટી સાથે બનાવવાનું છે. કદાચ 5 પૈસા 10 પૈસા 5 રૂપિયા મોંઘું બનશે તો આપણે એના માટેની માર્કેટ કરવાની છે. But we should not look at it. Why we should make para-aminophenol? એવું શું કામ બનાવીએ? આપણે કોમ્પ્લેક્સ વસ્તુ બનાવીએ. Why to go for complexity when our basic fundamentals are laid behind? When we talk about our advancements, we are so much advanced that we have actually kind of forgotten our grassroots and kind of forgotten our fundamentals, because that information, that technology is now taken by China all over the world. આમાં આપણો એકલાનો વાત નથી. ચાઇનાએ આખી દુનિયાને એવી રીતના ટેવ પાડી દીધેલી છે કે અમે જ્યાં સુધી તમને હા નહીં કહે ત્યાં સુધી દુનિયાની હા નહીં થાય. Right? We agree? I give you this example. તમે સર્ચ કરી શકો છો. Similarly, this is a molecule glyphosate. આ ઘણા ખરાને ખ્યાલ હશે. What is this? Does anyone know? This, yeah, glyphosate is a herbicide. It is for removing the unwanted grass, but this, I am talking about this particular molecule over here. Science students too, biology or chemistry or badaane આ structure આવે જ છે. It's tryptophan, it's amino acid. Tryptophan amino acid we are not manufacturing in our own country. 95% of the tryptophan is being manufactured by bioengineering process in China for the world. China પોતાની જરૂરિયાત તો વર્ષો પહેલા એને પૂરી કરી દીધી. હવે તો દુનિયાની જરૂરિયાત ઉપરાંત પણ વધારે જરૂરિયાતની પૂરી કરે છે. So this is something you need to think about it. This is again a pesticide molecule which is a $1 billion molecule. કોઈ વિદેશી કંપની છે આપણા કંટ્રીની અંદર આવી, આમાંથી ફાર્મિંગ સાથે જોડાયેલા કોઈ સ્ટુડન્ટ, કોઈને ખ્યાલ, કોઈના ઘરની ખેતી? પ્લીઝ રેઝ યોર હેન્ડ. આપણે રીંગણીમાં, ટમેટામાં ફૂગ આવે, જંતુનાશક દવા વાપરીએ. કોરાજીનનું નામ સાંભળ્યું છે ઘરે? કોરાજીન સાંભળેલું છે ને? This is nothing but a collagen molecule. આપણા ખેડૂત છે 25 ml ની બોટલના 2800 રૂપિયા પે કરે છે, જે વસ્તુ ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર 1 મીટર 7000 રૂપિયામાં બને છે. હું ફરીથી બોલું છું, આપણા ખેડૂતો 25 ml ની બોટલ 2800 રૂપિયાની પે કરે છે, જ્યારે આ વસ્તુ ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર આપણે 7000 રૂપિયાનું મીટર બનાવી શકીએ છીએ. આપણા ખેડૂત મજબૂત કે વિદેશી કંપની મજબૂત? દવા તો બેફિકર વાપરવાના છે, because when you have insects in your field, you are not supposed to waste your agri product, right? So why don't we think about this kind of things? Simple molecules. I want to discuss first the challenges, જે initial મારી સ્લાઇડમાં હશે, and next we are going to go to the opportunities. શું કહેવાય આના પર? Fog કહેવાય. So these are nothing but perfumery chemicals. Basic perfumery chemicals, very easy to synthesize, very easy to isolate from the natural product. In fact, you can even draw the structure easily on the paper. એવું નથી કે સ્ટ્રક્ચર જ આપણાથી ડ્રો નથી થતું પેપર પર, બનાવવાની તો વાત જ મૂકી દે. Not like that. You can easily draw the structures, but this kind of molecules are not being manufactured in our country. આ વસ્તુ સ્વિટ્ઝરલેન્ડથી આવે છે, આ વસ્તુ યુએસથી આવે છે. Few days back, I think there was a news that Prada launched a perfume. Prada company નું નામ તો સાંભળ્યું હશે, ગર્લ્સ તો પર્ટિક્યુલરલી બધાએ સાંભળ્યું હશે. બે દિવસ 3 દિવસ પહેલા ન્યૂઝ ચેક કરજો. રાણાએ કયું પરફ્યુમ લોન્ચ કર્યું? મસાલા ચાય. મસાલા ચાય ફ્લેવરનું પરફ્યુમ જે તમને 100 ml ની બોટલ છે એ તમને $19 માં મળે છે. 2000 રૂપિયાની 100 ml ની બોટલ ખાલી 20,000 રૂપિયાનો લીટર પરફ્યુમ. અને પરફ્યુમની ફ્લેવર કઈ? મસાલા ચાય. આપણા ઘરની અંદર આપણે તાજની પત્તી નથી વાપરતા કે આપણે ઘરનો આપણો મસાલો નથી વાપરતા, but we are going to pay this company to buy this perfume which has got very simple molecules. આપણા ઘરની અંદર જ છે. we just need to identify the smell. અને ઘરના બધાને પૂછો, બધાને સ્મેલ ખબર હશે કે કયા વસ્તુમાંથી કેવી રીતના આવે. Before me, the speaker, he has already mentioned, I think so, that he is doing his biofermentation stuff and he is producing the molecules or helpful food products. તો આપણા ઘરની અંદર આટલી ઘણી બધી વસ્તુઓ છે which we can try to understand, innovate and then bring it to the market. Shark Tank બધા innovate છે, right? Why can't we have 5 people from here not representing in Shark Tank? શું કરશે? બધીને પૈસા નહીં આપે ને, એ તો એમ પણ કોઈ નથી આપતું. માહિતી તો કઈ મળવાનું જ નથી જ્યાં સુધી જટવાનું નહીં શીખીએ ત્યાં સુધી. So when you have this kind of an idea, try to put your efforts and focus into that particular part which is your field of interest. એવું નથી કે કેમિસ્ટ્રી લાઈફ છે, બાયોલોજી લાઈફ છે કે ફિઝિક્સ કે મેથ્સ કે apart from this ટેકનોલોજી લાઈફ છે. તમને જે પણ વસ્તુ પસંદ હોય, if you are a business, તમારા ઘરનું કોઈ એન્ટરપ્રિન્યોરશિપ હોય, તમને ઘરથી ફંડિંગ મળતું હોય, try to go into that particular area where you can put your mark into the Indian history. અત્યારથી જે લખાવાની છે 2047 સુધી આ નવી હિસ્ટ્રી લખાવાની છે. Then we have to remove and forget the old papers from 1947, right? Any guesses? Very similar thing. Multivitamins, food supplements, Ayurvedic products. We are not manufacturing. હશે તો થોડા પ્રમાણમાં હશે. All these kind of things are dominated by China or any other companies of the world who are utilizing India as a potential market. કેમકે આપણી પાસે ખરીદ શક્તિ સૌથી વધુ છે. I give you the example of Prada. You go to the website right now, you will say that the product is sold out in India. Within the launch of few hours, within the launch of few days, if a foreign company can run out of a stock, કદાચ એમની પાસે 10 બોટલ પણ હોય અને 10,000 બોટલ પણ હોય. I don't know. પણ એની વેબસાઇટ ઉપર એવું લખેલું છે કે મારે આ પ્રોડક્ટ નથી, સપોઝ જોઈએ છે તો મને નહીં મળે. I have to register it to get this product. That is the game with our minds which is being played on the name of innovation. કા કેમકે આપણી પાસે $200 કે $20 કે $2,000 ની ખરીદ શક્તિ છે. જો 2 લાખ રૂપિયાનો આઈફોન લઈ શકતા હોય, why can't we have a 5,000 rupee perfume bottle? The point is not કે perfume bottle છે. The point is એક વખત મસાલા ચાય perfume લગાડીને ગયા તો બે જણા પૂછશે, એકને એવો જવાબ આપીશ કે ઘરેથી ચાય બનાવીને આવ્યો હતો, એકને એવો જવાબ આપીશ કે પરફ્યુમ લીધું છે. જેવું સામે મારે ઇન્ટરેક્શન હશે એવું સામેના પર્સનને કેવું ઇમ્પ્રેસ કરવું છે એના પ્રમાણે મારો જવાબ હશે, રાઈટ? This is something I'm talking about industries one by one. I'm going to chemical industries, I'm going to nutraceutical, I'm going to industries into the agro, I'm going into perfumery and cosmetics. This is another industries, analytical industries. A lot of opportunity for the girls for the next decade, not even decade, not next 10 years, not next 15 to 20 years. If you can be very skillful in terms of analysis, નવી પિક્ચર છે એ અલગ અલગ પ્રકારના એનાલિસિસ છે. Go to the industries right now 90% of the analytical department is being held by girls. Why? Because you have a good skill to implement something which is very crucial for the product. વસ્તુનું એનાલિસિસ કરી એનો સાચો જે રિપોર્ટ આપવો એ સ્કિલ છે that is entirely different from guys. I am not differentiating. હું બે વચ્ચે કોઈ અંતર નથી રાખતો. But when it comes to working hard into the laboratory, whether it's the microbiology or chemistry or any other laboratory, then it is always preferred that a boy student should work into that particular part. Any guesses? I think apart from few faculties, are there any students from masters or PhD who are here? Or who is pursuing their PhDs? But even for the faculty, yes. So even for the faculties, this is something called a software called Chematica. Chematica is nothing. Actually, પહેલા તમને બધા મોલેક્યુલ્સ ને બધી વસ્તુ દેખાય. You go to this software, એની અંદર તમે મોલેક્યુલ્સ નાખો અથવા તમે એને કહો કે મારે આ વસ્તુ બનાવવી છે, એક કોમ્પ્યુટર તમને નક્કી કરીને આપી દેશે કે કયું સ્ટાર્ટિંગ મટીરિયલ લેવું, ક્યાંથી પ્રોસિજર લેવી, કેવી રીતના એક્સપેરિમેન્ટ કરવું, શું કરવું. ફાઇનલી યુ વિલ હેવ યોર પ્રોડક્ટ. એક વખત પ્રોડક્ટ બનાવી લીધી, કોન્ફિડન્સ આવી ગયો કે આપણાથી બને છે, then what we need to think? Can I sell it? Can I manufacture it large? Can I reproduce this result? Those kind of information. So, Aspire.ai, Cynthia, 3Axis, these are nothing but these are knowledge databases. આ એક પ્રકારનું એવું લાઇબ્રેરી છે ઓનલાઈન જે હવે આપણે ફિઝિકલ લાઇબ્રેરીમાં નથી જતા, but we access this kind of information on our mobile phones day to day so that we can have as many information as possible. So with this kind of information, you can definitely make this kind of drug molecules or complex molecules. એ તમને રસ્તો આપશે. આટલા સિમ્પલ સ્ટાર્ટિંગ મટીરિયલ લ્યો, આ ટાઈપનો કોમ્પ્લેક્સ પ્રોડક્ટ તમારી પાસે બની જશે. You don't even need to think now. હવે તો વિચાર કરવાની પણ જરૂર નથી. વિચાર ક્યારે કરવાનો? કે જ્યારે આની આપણે તો રૂટ છે આનો, એમાં કોઈ કોમ્પ્લેક્સિટી આવે, જ્યારે મારી ખુદની એક્સપર્ટાઇઝ કે મારી ખુદની ટ્રેનિંગ છે, that will be helpful into that particular part, right? Again, there is a request from my side and from my personal experience, I can clearly say that from today onwards, those who want to pursue their career into research, જે લોકોને રિસર્ચની અંદર આગળ વધવું છે, those who want to go into the business, જે લોકોને બિઝનેસમાં આગળ જવું છે, અને જે લોકોને કાંઈ પણ નથી કરવું, એમના માટે પણ start preparing your electronic lab notebook. એક એવા પ્રકારનું ડોક્યુમેન્ટ આજથી તૈયાર કરવાનો શરૂ કરો કે જેટલો ટાઈમ તમે ફોનની અંદર રીલ્સમાં કે બીજી કોઈ એક્સ્ટ્રા કરિક્યુલર એક્ટિવિટીઝની અંદર સ્પેન્ડ કરો, એનો અડધો ટાઈમ ખાલી તમે ફોનમાં આના માટે સ્પેન્ડ કરો. Try to summarize your thoughts, your ideas, your potential work habits into your phone and prepare a document. આજે નહીં, 5 વર્ષ પછી જ્યારે opportunity સામે હશે and we cannot think that what I did or what we wanted to do at that point of time, ત્યારે આ વસ્તુ બહુ જરૂરી છે. ત્યારે તમને આમાંથી રેકોર્ડ્સ મળશે. If you have invented something, that record will be stored as a lab notebook, then you can go for patent. તમારા નામની તમને પેટન્ટ મળશે, તમારા કામની તમને પેટન્ટ મળશે. That patent will make you rich. જો પેટન્ટમાં સારી ક્વોલિટી હશે, પેટન્ટની અંદર એવો આઈડિયા હશે જે કમર્શિયલ થઈ શકતો હશે, તો એ તમને ભવિષ્યમાં અંબાણી તો નહીં પણ થોડાક એનાથી નીચે બનાવી શકશે. But you need to have that kind of a potential. The point being, what I am saying over here, that you should have a documented thoughts in form of a lab notebook or in form of a document which can help you in next 10 or 20 or next 50 years, so that you can summarize your thoughts and you can try to go for this kind of things, right? Again, apart from the patent, you can go also for the different kind of publications. Now, this is something in the slide. I will explain it in very brief manner. I think anybody has heard CROs, contract research organizations, જે અમદાવાદની અંદર કંપનીઓ છે જે CRO તરીકે ઇન્ડિયામાં કામ કરે છે. For those students who are coming from the chemistry, biology background, these are the organizations which are working as a strong organizations for the international company. વિદેશની કોઈ એવી કંપની છે જેમને બહુ મોટું મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ થાય છે તો એ પોતાનું મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ ઇન્ડિયામાં આઉટસોર્સ કરી અને ઇન્ડિયન પાર્ટનર સાથે in a basis of a contract, they will try to perform that research, they will try to perform that synthesis of molecules or even the biological testing and all those kind of things. So, one definition is contract research, then you can have development, you can have cost reduction, you can have target identification. So basically, if you are looking for a job into next 3 years or 5 years after your graduation, this is the first organization in the industries where you can get readily absorbed. તમને તાત્કાલિક કેમ્પસમાંથી job મળી જશે. One of your professors over here, Professor Ambasna, he has worked into his previous organization. He can say very briefly that how many coordinations he has done for the campus interview so that before the examination, the students are readily absorbed into this industry. તમારા result પહેલા તમારા હાથમાં job letter આવી ગયા હોય. If you want to pursue job and if you want to go for research in your future career, right? આજીવન કરવાની વાત નથી, પણ એક આપણે આપણા ગ્રેજ્યુએશન કમ્પ્લીટ થઈ ગયા પછી what we need to do એના માટે. Again, I think here the upper part it says about the patent and regulatory affairs. Same thing I am coming back. Intellectual property, જે તમારા વિચારો હશે, જે તમારી intellectuals હશે, એને તમે notebook ની અંદર જો સ્ટોર કરેલા હશે, that can be benefited always to you. Then again, this is more for the biological part, that you can have a drug regulatory office, then you have to study the bioefficacy and so on and so forth. But this is more related to the organization. જે organization માં job કરવા માટે જાઓ, એ organization ની અંદર આ બધી વસ્તુ તમારે ખ્યાલ રાખવાની આવે from the documentation part. Now we are coming to something which is more towards, I would say, manufacturing industries. Of course, it is applicable to all the girls as well, but try to think about it. હવે મગજ ચક્રાવે ચડવો જોઈએ. Up till now, it might have been a very smoother ride, but now I think you need to be very careful with what the next is coming. What do you see here?
No man. Without the automated research.
Yes. That's the second point, that it's a automated machine. But this is the next generation. Currently, India does not have its own lithium recycling technology. મને આટલા બેઠા છે એમાંથી એક ફોન દેખાડો જે ફોન લિથિયમ બેટરી વગરનો હોય. Forget about cars, forget about મોટા મોટા ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ્સ ભૂલી જાઓ. આપણી ડે ટુ ડે લાઈફ ની અંદર આપણે કેટલો લિથિયમ બેટરીઝનો યુઝ કરીએ છીએ એ મને જણાવો. છે કોઈ? બધા સ્માર્ટફોન મોડેલ છે, રાઈટ? જેની પાસે નોકિયા હશે એની પાસે પણ લિથિયમ બેટરી જશે. ફોન યુઝ થઈ ગયો પછી બેટરીનું શું થાય છે? એ બેટરી ક્યાંથી આવી? લિથિયમ ક્યાંથી આવી? 1200 રૂપિયાનો સેમસંગ હોય કે 1 લાખનો કે 1.5 લાખનો એપલ હોય. Where is this battery coming from? Where is this lithium metal coming from? India does not manufacture its own lithium. India doesn't even have a technology to prepare lithium batteries in our country. થોડા ટાઈમ પહેલા released today, Ola is going to synthesize its own cells, lithium cells, and that will be used for the battery. And then next generation Ola bike will be Ola cars હશે કે જે કાંઈ હશે એની અંદર આ પ્રકારના ઇન્ડિયન ટેકનોલોજીથી હવે In 2026, we are talking about this thing. જ્યારે આ વસ્તુ ચાઇના 1990s માં તો complete કરી નાખી. In the year 2000, they had commercial lithium batteries. We have not even thought about those kind of challenges in today's time. China had already thought about this thing, and not only China, the rest of the world also. કેમ કે એ લોકો ટેકનોલોજીકલી એટલું એ લોકોને આગળ વધ્યું હતું that they can always be 2 steps ahead of rest of the world or even India. India ને તો બધા અત્યારે કોમ્પિટિશન તરીકે જોવે છે, right? I think everybody will agree that India ને બધા એક કોમ્પિટિશન તરીકે જોવે છે. So now in this age, you cannot directly invade the country and go to war at India. So શું કરો? તો તમે એના ટેકનોલોજીકલ પાવર હાઉસ બની જાઓ, એના ટેકનોલોજીકલ માસ્ટર્સ બની જાઓ, જેથી આ જ વસ્તુ ગુલામી છે એ નેક્સ્ટ 100 years સુધી ચાલુ રહે. We need to come out of this kind of things. Our chief guest correctly said that it's not only about the science, it's about the technology as well. આની પાછળ જે વિજ્ઞાનની પાછળ સાયન્સ છે. So I don't think કે આપણા ઇનઓર્ગેનિકના પ્રોફેસર છે એ incompatible છે. They knew about the lithium since last several years. Our entire country has tremendous amount of information related to the lithium batteries. But what we did, we never executed those lithium batteries to manufacture it for the world. હવે આપણે તો આપણી જરૂરિયાત તો અત્યારે પૂરી કરવાની છે. But what about the world? એક ટર્મિનોલોજી તમે સાંભળેલી હશે, ચાઇના +1. સાંભળેલી છે? કોવિડ પછી બધાને ખ્યાલ આવ્યો કે ચાઇના ઉપર વધારે રિલાયન્સ આપણે નહીં કરી શકીએ. So we have to be start looking for another partner. That another partner could be India. શું કામ India? તો કે ઇન્ડિયા પાસે બધી વસ્તુ છે પણ કરતા નથી. આળસ વધારે છે. I don't think that there is a lack of funding. ફંડિંગની કોઈ કમી જ નથી, પૈસાની કોઈ કમી જ નથી. It's just that જે વસ્તુ ઇઝીલી મળી જાય છે એના માટે શું કામ પરિશ્રમ કરવો? When China will stop supplying lithium batteries, tell me how your mobile manufacturers are going to make new mobiles for you. China કરી શકે છે. અત્યારે તો બિઝનેસ દેખાય છે એટલે વાંધો નથી. કાલ સવારે આ જ વસ્તુ જો ચાઇનાએ કરી, I think we will be again having a master class to operate Nokia phones. એના માટે માસ્ટર ક્લાસ થતા હશે કે કેવી રીતના નોકિયા ફોનમાં મેસેજિંગ થાય, કેવી રીતના એમાં ગેમ્સ રમાય અને કેવી રીતના એમાં કોલ્સ થાય. We will be back to that generation. Similar things. Solar. We are hearing in last few years that so many Indian companies are making solar panels. That's why these are not the manufacturers. આ જેટલા solar manufacturers Indian companies છે, they are solar panel assemblers. Manufacturing is doing something when you produce on your own with your technical expertise, with your own material and with your own skill. આ ત્રણ વસ્તુ ભેગી થાય ત્યારે manufacturing થાય. But when you import a ready-made solar cell from China, when you combine that solar cell with the technology and the machinery provided by China, and then you try to utilize your skill, આપણું ભણતર, આપણી લાયકાત આપણે આ વસ્તુ માટે યુટિલાઇઝ કરીએ, where we just made the solar panel and we feel proud that now India has installed 125 gigawatt of solar panel. 2014 થી માંડીને 2026 સુધી ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર ટોટલ સોલાર પેનલનું ઇન્સ્ટોલેશન છે ઈ 125 ગીગાવોટ 125 ગીગાવોટ ઇન્સ્ટોલેશન કર્યું છે. અત્યારે લોગી કરીને LONGI લોગી કરીને ચાઇનાની કંપની છે જે એક કંપની જ ખાલી વર્ષનું 100 ગીગાવોટનું પ્રોડક્શન કરે છે. ઈ કંપની ઈચ્છે તો આખા ઇન્ડિયાની ડિમાન્ડ એક કમ્પ્લીટ ખાલી પૂરી કરી શકે છે. In comparison that we have, whether you talk about Adani or whether you talk about the Tata Power, whether you talk about the Bali, 5 gigawatt, 10 gigawatt, and then we feel proud that now we are having a solar panel, solar rooftop on our house, which is made in India. It's not made in India. It's just assembled in India. It's not even produced in India. Look, the point is that આ વસ્તુ criticism નો નથી, but again and again I'm coming to this thing. These are the opportunities for the next generation. જે અમે કરી શકશું એ તો કરીએ જ છીએ. But we are doing it right now with the challenges together. Challenges ની સાથે સાથે opportunity મળી છે એટલે પૂરેપૂરો ઉપયોગ નથી થતો. But when the challenges are removed from your side in future, you will only have the opportunities to work on this kind of a field where there is a lot of potential for next 25 years. And anybody will agree with me that again and again, cost ઓછા હોવા જોઈએ, easily available હોવું જોઈએ, તાત્કાલિક એપ્લિકેશન ની અંદર આવવું જોઈએ જેથી કરીને આપણે એનો ઉપયોગ કરી શકીએ. This kind of questions are coming day to day in our life, right? Plastic recycling. આ બધી મશીનરી, આ બધી વસ્તુ જુઓ છો, it's just a traditional machinery, but it's completely imported from China. આ બધી નવી નવી મેન્યુફેક્ચરિંગ ની ફિલ્ડ છે જેમાં બહુ બધો રૂપિયો છે. If we start thinking about recycling our own plastic, આપણું ખુદનું પ્લાસ્ટિક આપણે રિસાયકલિંગ કરીએ ને તો નેક્સ્ટ 25 વર્ષ સુધી ઇન્ડિયામાંથી પ્લાસ્ટિક પૂરું નથી થવાનું. એટલું આપણે કન્ઝ્યુમ કરી નાખ્યું છે પ્લાસ્ટિક. We have manufactured it, we have consumed that much amount of plastic જે નજર સામે નથી દેખાતું. પણ એવું ના હોય કે મારી આંખ બંધ તો દુનિયા dark. It's not like that. When I close my eyes, it can't be that the world is blind. એ તો મને નથી દેખાતું એટલે અથવા મારે નથી જોવું એટલા માટે એ વસ્તુ અજાણ્યું છે. I want comment from somebody. What is this? Right. This is a quantum computer. This? Anybody? This is Microsoft written over here. I'm giving a hint. This is called Majorana. Microsoft Majorana. શું હશે આ? Right? Sorry? Very close to that particular part. Again, if you want to classify in a very simple term, it's a chip. It's a computer chip. It's utilized in such kind of a quantum computing, right? If you include the entire colony college, our mobile phones, our laptops, આ બધાની જેટલી total operating capacity છે ને, જ્યાં આપણે processor કઈ આ એક chip પૂરી કરે છે. This single processor can perform the task of the entire computation facility of even Tolani College or even higher than that. This is Google's own processor, Google Veo. This is Microsoft's own processor. Asuche. This is the technological dominance. A nuclear bomb છે. આ એવા પ્રકારનો બોમ્બ છે જે આખી દુનિયાને પોતાના કંટ્રોલમાં રાખશે. If you look into details, don't try to go very deep, but note down the words: quantum computing, quantum processors, silicon chips, semiconductors. આના વિશે ખાલી જેટલી ડેફિનેશન આવે ને એટલી ઇન્ફોર્મેશન વાંચજો અને જોજો કે આમાંથી કેટલું ડેલી આપણે આપણી લોકલ પ્રોડક્ટની અંદર યુઝ કરીએ અને આપણે ક્યાં છીએ, where we are, what we need to do further, right? We are now hearing that in Dodara very soon we will have our own Indian-made semiconductor plant. India in many ways is going to make different kind of semiconductor chips. જે હવે તાઇવાનથી અથવા યુએસથી નહીં પણ આપણે આપણા કન્ટ્રીઝની અંદર બનાવશું. So these are the few steps
Now India has realized in the last 5 years that we need to be independent from the technological powers. જે દુનિયાના જે ટેકનોલોજીકલ કિંગ્સ છે એની જગડમાંથી આપણે કેવી રીતના આપણું સેલ્ફ રિલાયન્ટ થવું, these are this kind of examples. Again, I think there was a discussion about the renewable energy which they are trying to utilize into Dindayal Port, or they are focusing on, or even the government is now pushing for different kind of things. આ શું હશે કહી શકશે કોઈ? શું લાગે છે? Anybody? No.
Electrolysis unit for generating
Exactly. This is the electrolyzer. Electrolyzer માં શું થાય? Do you know what happens in an electrolyzer? We just feed the water. આ તરફથી પાણી ઇનપુટ કર્યું, કોઈ પ્રકારની કેમિકલ પ્રક્રિયા થાય છે અંદર. That water gets dissociated into hydrogen and oxygen gas, and that hydrogen we are utilizing as a renewable source of energy. હવે મને કહો કે દુનિયામાં સૂરજની કમી છે? નો. પાણીની કમી છે? નથી ને? આ બધા પોટેન્શિયલ છે. These are our basic raw materials to see 22nd century. 21મી સદી કે એને ભવિષ્યની સદી જોવા માટે, if we are not adopting to this kind of things, then very soon our planet, or very soon our civilization will come to an end if we are not utilizing this kind of technology and resources for the renewable part. This is again a battery storage. So whatever you are now generating additional power through the solar panels into the solar plant, now those energies are being, એટલે ફોન ની બદલે હવે એક મોટા મોટા કન્ટેનર થઈ ગયા. So tomorrow if Tolani College requires an additional energy, they can just put one container outside here in the campus. This container will have all the batteries. ત્યાંથી આજુબાજુમાંથી મુંદ્રામાંથી કોઈ પણ અદાણીના સોલાર પ્લાન્ટમાંથી એનર્જી જનરેટ થશે. That will be stored inside the lithium batteries in your campus, and you can utilize that renewable energy for your own purpose within this college. This is next generation. This is what the future looks like. Again, આ બધાય આ શબ્દ ખબર છે, but I bet કે ઇન્ડસ્ટ્રીના 1% માણસોને પણ હજી સુધી ખ્યાલ નથી how to define artificial intelligence. જે આ ફિલ્ડની અંદર કામ કરે છે એમાંથી પણ 1% ને ખબર નથી કે આર્ટિફિશિયલ ઇન્ટેલિજન્સને ડિફાઇન કેમ કરો. સિરિયલે ગૂગલને જવાબ પૂછ્યો અને એને મને સાવ જવાબ આપી દીધો. That is an artificial intelligence. શું લાગે છે? એ વસ્તુ તો આપણે વર્ષોથી નાનપણથી મમ્મીને પૂછતા આવ્યા હતી, તો એ તો એનાથી વધારે ઇન્ટેલિજન્ટ થઈ ને. So it's a combination of three things where you have a very deep learning. બહુ ઊંડાણપૂર્વક કોઈ વસ્તુની જાણકારી મેળવવી. ક્યાં સુધી? જ્યાં સુધી એનું base means the bottom you did not reach to that particular part. Then what you do it supervised learning. એનું એક સુપરવિઝન ની અંદર તમે વારંવાર લર્નિંગ કરો. Then unsupervised learning, તમારી જાણ બહારનું કોઈ હોય એ વસ્તુ પણ પાછી શીખવાની. If you combine these two parts, reinforce, ધરા ભણાવો. એક ક્લાસરૂમ ની અંદર પ્રોફેસર અસાઇનમેન્ટ આપે તો પ્રોફેસર ની સામે કરવું, સુપરવાઇઝ. કોક પાસે કરાવવું, અનસુપરવાઇઝ. અને ડેડલાઇન ના 1 કલાક પહેલા ધરાર કરાવવું, that is reinforced learning. સર જર્નલ આજ સેન્ડ કરી દો, આજે તો કમ્પ્લીટ કરી નાખ્યું છે, રાઈટ? When you combine this kind of aspect that goes into the deep learning part,
and then you have the machine learning. So combined with deep learning and the machine learning, you will have an entire circle which is called an artificial intelligence. આ બધા તત્વો ભેગા થાય અને એક particular cycle ની અંદર કામ કરે, that cumulative effort is being defined now as an artificial intelligence. એટલે તમે ગમે વસ્તુ પૂછો છો અને ગમે વસ્તુનો જવાબ મળે છે, that model inside your phones is now doing this whole exercise together. એની પાસે ખુદનું લર્નિંગ આવી ગયું, સુપરવાઇઝ અનસુપરવાઇઝ રીઇન્ફોર્સ્ડ આવી ગયું ને પછી તમને પાછો જવાબ પણ આપે છે. Again, these are just the 4 pillars in data science part. જે લોકોને apart from the laboratory part, ઓફિસમાં એસી ની હવામાં 8 કલાક કામ કરવું હોય, you can be a data scientist. Not an issue. Upcoming field. દુનિયાનો ડેટા પડેલો છે, એ ડેટાને ફરીથી આપણે રિવિઝિટ કરીએ. Why can't we just learn out of that particular data and try to evaluate and try to identify the potential areas where we can improve our learning? ખુદની જાતને શું કામ આપણે હોશિયાર ના બનાવીએ? So again, different kind of software, different business analytical tools, different kinds of domains where you need to have knowledge, mathematics skills. Of course, this is more for the people who are creating into the thinking. જે લોકોને mathematical side વધારે interest હોય, for those people I am talking. Somebody who is very good at computer science, somebody who is coming from a background જેમને computer સાથે વધારે લગાવ છે, they can utilize this thing. And again, communication and visualization. So this works also for the final part કે આખા પેકેજની કેવી રીતે માર્કેટિંગ કરી અને આપણે એવી ટાઈપની પ્રોડક્ટ બનાવી which is very good for the customer based on the data science. Having a from the biology background, and just only few. Wait in the video. Okay, sorry. So for the girls or students from the biology background, look at these names. આ બધા નામ 1 લાખ રૂપિયાનું એક ઇન્જેક્શન, 25 લાખ રૂપિયાનો કેમોથેરાપીનો કોર્સ આપણે સાંભળ્યું છે ને. We have come across with this kind of terminology. We have come across with this kind of a conversation happening within our families or within our society, where somebody is suffering from a tremendous death disease and has to go for very expensive medicines. These are all the brand names of all the companies. These are the active ingredients. આ બધા છે એ આપણા રૂટીન યુઝ ની અંદર આવે છે. India is not manufacturing, or India has never innovated its own biological molecule. India ક્યારેય પણ પોતાનું biologically isolated molecule દવા તરીકે હજુ સુધી એસ્ટાબ્લિશ કરેલું નથી. We are good at copying the part. જે વસ્તુને શોધે, we call them innovators, right? XYZ કંપનીએ યુએસ ની અંદર કે યુરોપ ની અંદર કે બીજા કોઈ દેશની અંદર કઈ વસ્તુ શોધેલી, they are the innovators. We call them copycats. એટલે આપણે આપણી જાતને એના copycats કહીએ છીએ, પણ હવે આવો શબ્દ સારો ન લાગે એટલે we call it as a generic industry. સાંભળેલી છે ને generic દવાઓ? તો generic દવાઓ શું છે? જે ઇનોવેટરે બનાવેલું મોલેક્યુલ છે, એ કમ્પાઉન્ડ છે, એને તમે ફરીથી પ્રોસેસ રિપીટ કરી તમારી લેબોરેટરીની અંદર બનાવો. And then you try to say that now I am a superior or I am a technological master because I know how to synthesize that molecule. That is not correct. We are generic industries that we make this thing on a bulk scale, we make this thing in a cheaper scale, we make this thing in a reliable manner. એ શુદ્ધ હશે, સારી અસર ધરાવતી હશે, અને it is also acceptable for the world. That's why if somebody says India is the pharmacy of the world, it is not that we are the innovators. It's just that we are manufacturing so pure drug compounds for the world that now we are called as a pharmacy of the world. But if we really need to be the pharmacy of the world, we should probably have 10 such kind of molecules within our own country, right? Again, I won't go into much of the details, but this is just for the biological people that they can look for monoclonal antibodies, they can look for proteins, cell, gene therapies, and other biological molecules as a part of this particular drug discovery. Few minutes more. Is it okay? Shall I go for few minutes more? Okay, wind up there. Few minutes more, right? Interesting લાગે છે થોડું? Right. હજી આથી વધારે interesting part આવશે. When you are into the biological part, I won't go into much of the details, but this is you are going to study in your masters in your future research career. These are nothing but different structures of the monoclonal antibodies, or you can in general call these are the antibodies, and these are very helpful for isolation. These are already isolated from the disease, and now you need to find a target, and then you need to cure that particular target. Okay. Again, I won't go into much of the details. These are, as we say, these are into microns, these are into nanoscale. Size not illegal, structure, function, bhakti vastu same chain. There is nothing part into that particular way. When I started my lecture, I said, COVID પછી આપણે બધા ડોક્ટર થઈ ગયા છે, ડિગ્રી હોય કે ના હોય. આ વસ્તુ સમજાય છે? બધાએ કોવિડ વેક્સિન લીધેલી છે? લીધેલી છે? કેવી રીતના વેક્સિન બને? આપણે બીજા મહેમાન થઈને બીજાના ઘરે ચા પીવા જઈએ છીએ, ચા સારી નથી બનતી તો કાં સામે ને કાં પાછળથી એના વાંક કાઢીને કહે છે કે ચા બનાવતા નથી આવડતી, જે બીજાના ઘરની છે. And we easily took the vaccines કેમ કે ગવર્મેન્ટે કીધું કે આ તમારા માટે સારી છે અને તમને આનાથી ક્યોર મળશે. કેટલાય આમાંથી ક્વેશ્ચન કરેલો હતો કે આ વેક્સિનની અંદર શું છે, કેવી રીતના છે, શું થશે? Did you question it? Okay. Why? ચાલુ એક્ઝામ્પલ તો બરોબર છે ને, ઘરની ચાય ઘણી વખત નથી ભાવતું ને. અહીંયા કેન્ટીનમાં સારી સેન્ડવિચ ના બનાવી તો 3 વખત ભાઈમાં સેજે સારી બ્રેડ વાપરો, થોડીક વધારે ટોસ્ટ કરો. આપણો મૂડ સારો હોવો જોઈએ તો સેન્ડવિચ સારી થવી જોઈએ. Vaccine is nothing but a combination of all these particular things. જેની અંદર key ingredient તરીકે mRNA હોય. mRNA is nothing but a small antibody, or you can say a component which actually cures your disease. Okay. એ વસ્તુ ડાયરેક્ટલી આપણે બોડીની અંદર કન્ઝ્યુમ નથી કરી શકતા. mRNA ડાયરેક્ટલી આપણે ઇન્જેક્શનના ફોર્મમાં કે ટેબ્લેટના ફોર્મમાં કે બીજી કોઈ પણ સિરપના ફોર્મમાં નથી કરી શકતા. Why? Because even if we take it, the delivery of the mRNA to our desired target inside the body is not going to happen. So to make that thing feasible, એ વસ્તુને શક્ય કરવા માટે we need drug delivery, and for that drug delivery we need this kind of components, liposomes, we need lipid nanoparticles, we need nanostructure carriers. આ બધી વસ્તુ કોમ્બિનેશન થાય, એની સાથે આ mRNA જોઈન્ટ થાય અને એ આખું જે ફોર્મ્યુલેશન બને એ આપણે કઈ સુગર સિરપ. એટલે સાદી ભાષાની અંદર કહીએ તો વેક્સિન આપણે સુગર સિરપ જ કહીએ. કેમ કે ખબર નથી તો એની અંદર ખાંડ પણ હોઈ શકે. But now from today, I think every one of you who are here, at least you should know that what vaccine is, what vaccine component, કેમકે ભવિષ્યના જેટલા પણ રોગો હશે એનું ક્યોર વધારે પડતું વેક્સિન થી જ થવાનું છે. Tablets, injections are a failure, not failure in the sense a business દ્રષ્ટિએ તો સક્સેસફુલ છે, પણ જે માણસને ક્યોર કરવાની, જે ડાયાબિટીસની દવા લે છે, જે હાર્ટ પેશન્ટ છે, જે કેન્સરની દવા લે છે, એ ક્યોર થાય છે, એ ડિઝીઝ ફ્રી છે. ડિઝીઝ ફ્રી કોઈ નથી થતું. You have to continuously keep on taking those things. પણ એવું ક્યારેય બન્યું કે આપણે કોવિડની વેક્સિન વારંવાર લેવી પડે છે? મેબી બુસ્ટર ડોઝ કદાચ લેવો પડશે, પણ એવું તો નથી ને કે દર વર્ષે આપણે નેક્સ્ટ લાઈફ સુધી આપણે કોવિડની વેક્સિન લીધી જ રાખવાની. Why? Because this is a powerful component which has been injected inside your body, and now your body is highly capable enough to generate an immune response કે ભવિષ્યની અંદર કોવિડ અથવા કોવિડથી વધારે જે નુકસાન કરતા દર્દો આવે ને, તો આપણી બોડી પાસે હવે એવી મિકેનિઝમ છે કે આપણે એનાથી ફાઇટ કરી શકીએ with the help of an external substance, right? I think this will be a little bit complex, but તમને શો કરું છું. દુનિયા ક્યાં છે? Where the world is. It is also interesting for the professors now who are sitting over here, who has worked into the industry, and also for the PhD students. એક 10 ફૂટ બાય 15 ફૂટના બોક્સની અંદર તમારી આખી લેબોરેટરી, આમાં કોની જરૂર પડે? ફર્સ્ટ ઓફ ઓલ, from the hood we can identify that we need a chemist. Chemistry ની તો જરૂર પડશે. This whole wire is it visible? Can you see this wires? These are all mechanical pumps. મારી પાસે એવું અનનોન કમ્પાઉન્ડ્સ છે જેના સોલ્યુશન્સ બનાવેલા છે. હવે મારા પીએચડી ગાઈડ મને કહીને ગયા અથવા મારા પ્રોફેસરે મને પ્રેક્ટિકલની અંદર એવું કીધું કે 3 કલાકની અંદર 600 કમ્પાઉન્ડ બનાવીને આવો. ઇઝ ઇટ પોસિબલ? એક્ઝામ્પલ આપું છું. બનાવવાનો તો 6 લાખ છે, પણ આજે 600 બનાવશો 3 કલાકમાં તો કાલે તમને ટાર્ગેટ મોટો આપીશ. This is futuristic lab. ભવિષ્યની લેબો આવી હશે, અત્યારે છે. આ existing lab નો ફોટોગ્રાફ છે. Where your different chemical bottles are over here. Fermentation combination કરી mix match કરીને બધા કેમિકલ્સ ભેગા કરીને કંઈક નવી પ્રકારનું કેમિકલ બનાવવાનું. પણ નવી પ્રકારનું કેમિકલ બન્યું છે, એ બન્યું છે કે નહીં? સાચું બન્યું છે? શું બન્યું છે? અને કેટલી પ્યુરિટીમાં બન્યું છે એ કેવી રીતના તપાસ કરશું? So the students who are BSc students who have come across characterization techniques, compound characterization techniques, they should be familiar with IR, infrared spectra, they should be familiar with NMR spectra, they should be familiar with mass spectroscopy. એટલે જેવું અહીંયાથી રિએક્શન થઈ ગયું એટલે આયર મશીનની અંદર ડાયરેક્ટલી લાઈનમાં એ જ નળીની અંદર આયર રેકોર્ડ થઈ જશે. પછી માસ મશીનમાં આવશે અને અહીંયા જ નીચે ટેબલ પર એનો NMR પણ રેકોર્ડ થઈ જશે. આ બધું કરવા માટે શું જોઈએ? We require a computer scientist or a data scientist. એટલે આના ટેબલ પર સાઈડમાં એક નાનકડું લેપટોપ દેખાય છે. પ્રોફેસરે મને કીધું 3 કલાકમાં 600 કમ્પાઉન્ડ બનાવે છે. કાંઈ વાંધો નહીં, હું કોમ્પ્યુટરનો સ્ટુડન્ટ છું. I will write a Python program, I will write a code, enter મારી હું 3 કલાક મારી workshop જલસામાં જતો રહીશ. When I will come back, this entire automated system has completely worked on with all the data incorporated into this laptop, and then I just need to analyze them to see each individual reaction. દરેક રિએક્શન પછી જે એમાંથી કમ્પાઉન્ડ બનેલો હશે એ હું મારી કેરેક્ટરાઇઝેશન ટેકનિકથી આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ કરી I will try to find out the structure. હવે 3 કલાક કરવાથી 600 કમ્પાઉન્ડ મળી જાય, એમાં એક વસ્તુ નોવેલ મળી જાય તો વિચાર કરો મેં તમને ફર્સ્ટ સ્લાઇડથી જેટલા દેખાડ્યા ઇન્ટેલેક્ચ્યુઅલ પ્રોપર્ટી ને આપણે પેટન્ટ્સની એની વાતચીત કરી તો આ વસ્તુ ઈઝી થાય કે ન થાય? અત્યારના પ્રોફેસર્સ કે અત્યારનો રિસર્ચ તમને લેબર નથી બનાવવા માંગતા કે તમને દોડાવીને 600 કમ્પાઉન્ડ બનાવો. But if you are smart enough, then these technologies, this kind of things exist. આની પર ફોકસ કરો. Try to put your attention and skills into that particular direction, which can make you much clear person in your thoughts for the future. આવતી જનરેશન માટે એવું ન કહેવા જોઈએ કે અમારા બાપ દાદા હતા એ મૂર્ખ હતા. Why? Because યુ કેન ઇમેજિન તમને આ એજમાં અત્યારે આટલો ટેકનોલોજીનો એક્સેસ છે તો તમારા પછીની નેક્સ્ટ જનરેશનને આથી કેટલો વધારે ટેકનોલોજીકલ એક્સેસ હશે અને જ્યારે એ લોકો શું કેવી રીતના ને એ બધા પ્રશ્નો પૂછશે અને આપણે જવાબ નહીં દઈ શકીએ then we will be at the fault because we have not thought enough or we have not educated ourselves enough to try to look at this kind of things, right? I think this is the slide which is more dedicated towards the recent Nobel Prize. Molecular Organic Framework ने recently જે હમણાં ડિસેમ્બરની અંદર Nobel Prize મળેલું છે. This is something like this કે આજે તમે સ્લાઇડ જોઈ રહ્યા છો આ એક એવી ટાઈપનું ક્રિસ્ટલ સ્ટ્રક્ચર છે એવી ટાઈપનું મોતીનો દાણો છે which is a composition of a molecular organic framework and within this particular જે ડાયમંડ શેપ કહેવાય કે જે દાણો કહેવાય એની અંદર તમે દુનિયાનો કોઈ પણ સ્ટ્રક્ચર છે એ એક્સરે ક્રિસ્ટલોગ્રાફીથી જોઈ શકો એવા પ્રકારની ડિસ્કવરી જે અત્યાર સુધી કોઈ પણ ટેકનિક આઈડેન્ટિફાઈ ન કરી શકતી હોય કમ્પાઉન્ડને કેરેક્ટરાઇઝ ન કરી શકતી હોય તો ડાયરેક્ટલી આપણે ક્રિસ્ટલાઇઝેશન કરીએ and then we can try to find this kind of crystal structures through this technology. ભવિષ્યની અંદર કદાચ આજથી 5 વર્ષે આ જ રિસર્ચને નોબેલ પ્રાઇઝ મળે તો that won't be a surprise. This is something picture from my laboratory when I was working at the University of Manchester. When you have too much access, જ્યારે આપણે પૈસાનો એક્સેસ સૌથી વધારે હોય, ફેસિલિટીઝનો એક્સેસ સૌથી વધારે હોય અને સાથે સાથે એવા કમ્ફર્ટ ઝોનમાં હોય કે 12 -10 ડિગ્રી ટેમ્પરેચર હોય અને ફૂલ ગુલાબી ઠંડી હોય ને એકદમ આમ સ્નો પડતો હોય તો એવા ટાઈમની અંદર લેબમાં રિસર્ચ કરવાનું ગમે ના ગમે ને કે પછી ઠંડી let's stay inside the lab. No. So when I had a lot of resources, મારી પાસે ઘણું ફંડિંગ હતું, મારી પાસે ઘણી બધી એવા પ્રોવિઝન્સ હતા કે with a single order I can even buy chemicals for 5 lakh 10 lakh without any kind of permission. પણ ત્યારે જ્યારે તમે તમારી આ વસ્તુને સસ્તું સારું અને ટકાઉમાં કન્વર્ટ કરો then your research becomes very interesting. એટલે એક એવા પ્રકારનું રિએક્શન કરવાનું હતું જેના માટે કોમ્પ્લેક્સ લેબોરેટરી કન્ડિશન્સ કોમ્પ્લેક્સ કેમિકલ્સ અને એક એવી ટાઈપની રિએક્શન મેથોડોલોજી યુઝ કરવાની હતી જેમાં સેફટી વાઇઝ કેરફુલી કરવાનું હતું કામ. So I had this kind of pumps inside my laboratory. Syringes તો માર્કેટમાંથી અવેલેબલ હોય આવી નળીઓ એમેઝોનમાંથી રેડીલી અવેલેબલ હતી. કેમિકલ નંબર 1 કેમિકલ નંબર 2 કેમિકલ નંબર 3 એના બે કેમિકલ છે that goes inside this particular tube, they mix together, then the third chemical combines over here, combined they come, they react, they get collect inside this thing. શું કરેલું છે? I have just 10 ml 20 ml ની વાયર પર કેમિકલ ભરી એની સાથે ટ્યુબ કનેક્ટ કરી એક ઓટોમેટિક મશીન ઉપર અહીંયા મૂકી દીધા મશીનને સેટઅપમાં રાખી દીધું and out of the lab આટલી જગ્યાની અંદર જે વસ્તુ તમે 5 લાખ રૂપિયા ખર્ચીને કરો રિએક્શન એ જ વસ્તુ આ 50 રૂપિયા કે 100 રૂપિયા કે 5000 રૂપિયામાં થઈ ગઈ. I took this as a kind of a challenge કે આપણે શું એ વસ્તુનું ઇનોવેશન કરી શકીએ where we are more safer, we do some very innovative chemistry and also we save the money. હવે મારે કઈ યુકેના પૈસા સેવ કરીને I don't wanted to get richer અને થાક પણ નહીં. But the point being that now this becomes a golden standard in the laboratory over there. એટલે ભવિષ્યની અંદર મારા પછી કોઈ પણ સ્ટુડન્ટ કે રિસર્ચર કે કોઈ પણ પ્રોફેસર કામ કરશે the demand will be try to find a easy solution, try to find a cheaper solution, try to find a solution which works. Okay, again this is something for the future concept that now we are combining light photosynthesis અને આવી પ્રકારના drug molecules કે complex molecules બની શકે છે. If you are more interested, my presentation is over here. I have also shown you my email address, phone number, whatever. You can contact through the professors. We can definitely have an individual lecture on just simple topic like photosynthesis and how we are using photochemistry inside the field of chemical industries right now. ફક્ત ને ફક્ત 7 કરોડ રૂપિયાનું એક મશીન લાઈટ પ્લસ ફોટો એટલે જે તમને પેલા ટ્યુબિંગ દેખાયું એ ટ્યુબિંગ એની સાથે લાઈટ આ બધી વસ્તુ કમ્બાઈન કરું એટલે જે હું લેબની અંદર મિલીગ્રામ કે ગ્રામ સ્કેલની અંદર બનાવું છું હવે આ જ વસ્તુ મારો આઈડિયા હું કમર્શિયલાઇઝ કરી આઈ કેન યુટિલાઇઝ ધીસ કાઇન્ડ ઓફ industrial machine to do continuous manufacturing. Continuous. કોઈ મોટા રિએક્ટરની જરૂર નથી. કદાચ આટલો સ્ટેજનો પ્રિમાઇસિસ હોય તો આટલું રિએક્ટર ઇનફ છે. બે બાજુથી જે નળી કનેક્ટ કરી દો પ્લાન્ટ જે પમ્પ્સ હોય એ કનેક્ટ કરી દો ટ્રાય ટુ રાઇટ અ સોફ્ટવેર યોર વર્ક ઇઝ ડન ઇન અ કન્ટિન્યુઅસ મેનર વિધાઉટ ઓબ્ઝર્વેશન ઓફ એની કાઇન્ડ ઓફ અ પર્સન. કોઈ માણસની જરૂરત નથી. સેફલી મોટા મોટા રિએક્ટરની અંદર મોટી મોટી મટીરિયલ કેમિકલ ચાર્જ કરવાની જરૂર રહેતી નથી. Again, as I said, very simple innovative thinking. કરંટ તો આપણી લેબોરેટરીમાં હોય જો પાવર હોય તો GE વાળા લાઈટ આપે તો but we assume that we have got a power. Simple flow meter continuously pump કરી રાખે એવું ટાઈપનો મશીન. અહીંયા ઇલેક્ટ્રોકેમિકલ સેલ છે જેને મેં પાવર આપેલો છે. અહીંયાથી મટીરિયલ જે મારો રિએક્શન છે એ આ પંપ ખીચે છે ઇલેક્ટ્રોકેમિકલ સેલમાં જાય છે એનું રિએક્શન થાય છે એ જ મટીરિયલમાંથી મારા ફ્લાસ્કની અંદર ચાર્જ થઈને આવી જાય છે. જે વસ્તુ ઓવરએડ સરળથી અથવા બીજી કોઈ વસ્તુથી કરીએ ઘરે છાશ બનાવવાની વોલ્યુમની બદલે કોઈ એમ કહે કે કન્ટિન્યુઅસ વેમાં આવી રીતના બનાવો છો તો હવે છાશ બની જશે. I think with the help of the sir, we can think of this kind of an idea. He is expert into the field of innovating new kind of food ingredients which can provide the need of the society. અત્યારની જરૂરતને પૂરી કરવા માટે જેટલો ખાદ્ય ખોરાકની જરૂરત છે those kind of things require scientific challenges, technological challenges. So if you combine your thoughts, if you combine your idea, if you combine your science, then you can eventually fulfill the need of a humankind. So with this, I think I have not taken enough time. In fact, I have taken a lot of time. But I hope that I am able to deliver the message which I wanted to send to all the students. That these are the fields to be identified as your potential playground. આ ભવિષ્યની અંદર તમારા પ્લેગ્રાઉન્ડ છે જ્યાં તમે કોઈ પણ પ્રકારની રમત છે તમે રમી શકો છો and I want to be very happy to see you as a winner into this kind of field after 5 years or 10 years. આજથી 5 વર્ષ 10 વર્ષ પછી I wish it's my best compliments to all the faculty members and the students that you become a domain expert into each of these fields which I will showcase over you. Okay, with that, thank you very much. Thanks for all organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be very happy to answer the questions.
नहीं एग्जैक्टली यूट्यूब पे थोड़े क्वेश्चंस आए हैं. हाँ एक धन्यवाद. माइक ऑप्शन.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What is the difference between lithium battery and lithium ion battery?
No, any kind of lithium battery is a general terminology we are using, but the concept is that you have a lithium metal and you have a lithium salt which is now dissolved in solution to make. So it's a lithium solvent plus some organic chemical which becomes a lithium solution. So the whole electrochemistry works on the positive charge, negative charge of the lithium only. Okay, so it's lithium ion battery. Lithium ion is more scientific terminology. Lithium battery is more general terminology for the common society. But there is no difference.
खबर क्या मुझे पेशेंट है खबर है
Yes. Okay.
सर ये mRNA वैक्सीन में लिपिड नैनो पार्टिकल्स का क्या काम है?
Lipid nanoparticles are the substances which encapsulates. એટલે તમને જો કાર્બોહાઈડ્રેટનું કે કોઈ એવા કોલેસ્ટ્રોલ જેવા મોલેક્યુલનું સ્ટ્રક્ચર યાદ હોય so what happens is that under standard formulation conditions જે તમે એક એવું વાતાવરણ અને લિપિડ નેનોપાર્ટિકલને પ્રોવાઈડ કરો જ્યારે so this is an entire lipid nanoparticle which has kind of formed a shape inside which the mRNA is encapsulated. બરાબર mRNA ડાયરેક્ટલી બોડીમાં નથી જતો કેમ કે પેસેજ નથી પણ કોલેસ્ટ્રોલ મોલેક્યુલ છે તો ફેટ તો શરીરમાં બધી જગ્યાએ જઈ શકે છે so with that lipid nanoparticles now we are delivering the active ingredient inside your body બરાબર અને પછી ಈ બોડીની અંદર જે that lipid nanoparticle the entire molecule gets open up your mRNA is released and then it will function for whatever it is designed for right
तो सर मैसेंजर की तरह काम करता है ना वो
sorry
लाइक इट एक्ट्स एज अ मैसेंजर
no it does not act as a messenger it acts as a carrier it helps into the delivery of an active drug substance to its target in the body and it functions and a cartoon shape this is just a representation but this yellow point denotes some kind of a positive charge negative charge like that so it interacts with our cell and it penetrates inside the cell when it decomposes it releases mRNA and so on and so forth okay please
નામ બોલવાની કે
Good afternoon. Sir, myself Bhakti Bhavani and I am pursuing MSc in chemistry.
okay
My question is that once I purchased the expensive perfume, thought that it would be very nice. And I can personally like it after buying it. So I can't return it. So I thought that if that company can sell it so expensively, why can't I? So I got the research, I got the research, got the theoretical knowledge, but I'm confused what to do after that.
the first and the foremost thing is that nowadays whatever is being marketed as an expensive stuff to you behind that a tremendous amount of money has been spent to do that kind of a marketing. Why did you say that this was an expensive? તમે શું કામ એને expensive કીધું?
Because I got it at costly price.
એટલે costly price છે with the monetary power. But did you look at the another part of that particular perfume that it is rich in terms of aromas?
It was rich in terms.
એ expensive એરોમાની દ્રષ્ટિએ છે કે એની અંદરથી જે તમને ફ્રેગ્રન્સીસ કે જે તમને જે ઇફેક્ટ મળે છે એ એક્સપિરિયન્સ તમને બીજી ક્યાંયથી નથી મળતો
It was rich in fragrance also.
so
I didn't like it personally.
okay then again when a lot of marketing so if you want to be successful now even if you know that what chemicals are there any under material ingredients now any other formula for material how to manufacture that particular perfume right only thing that is your skills to market that product અને એના માટે તમારે તમારા બનાવેલા samples maybe 100 200 500 people ને you need to spread it we have sports in આપણે daily life ની અંદર જોઈએ જ છીએ કે કોઈ પણ વસ્તુની અંદર મેગીની સાથે ફોકની આટલી બોટલ ફ્રી આપે હવે મેગી અને ફોકને શું લેવા દેવા છે what is the relation between these two things but the fork bottle of free 25 ml is now being marketed to ask you to buy a big deodorant from store એટલે એ લોકોએ માર્કેટિંગ સ્પેન્ડ કર્યું છે એટલા બિઝનેસ સ્ટ્રેટેજી એવી ડેવલપ કરી છે that now becomes a business so you need to be very skillful in business if you are very good at chemistry if you are very good at formulation be good at business side as well
Sir,
yes
મારું નામ સ્નેહા ચાવડા હું બીએસસી કેમિસ્ટ્રી સર તમે ડેટા સાયન્સ ની વાત કરી હાલ ડેટા સાયન્સ માં ઘણી બધી ટેકનોલોજી છે પણ એક સ્ટુડન્ટ તરીકે મારે સૌથી પહેલા કઈ વસ્તુ પર ધ્યાન દેવું
data science માં કઈ ટેકનોલોજીનો તમને ખ્યાલ છે data science ની અંદર ટેકનોલોજી નથી હોતી right there is no technology within the data science if you say data science that means મારી સામે કોઈ પણ આવેલી information whether it's in the writing form whether it's in the visual form or whether it's into the imaginative form કોઈ પણ પ્રકારનું આ ત્રણ માંથી જે ક્રાઇટેરિયા હોય okay and then you process that thing, that becomes a data. હું કોઈ સાથે ફોનની અંદર વાત કરું છું, ચેક કરું છું, that becomes a data. એની કોઈ ટેકનોલોજી નથી. Right? And the science to understand this data, it's data science. એટલે આને એક આપણે મેથમેટિકલ વેની અંદર, એક સ્ટ્રક્ચર વેની અંદર, એક ફોર્મ્યુલેટિક વેની અંદર જ્યારે આ ડેટાને આપણે ઇન્ટરપ્રિટ કરીએ, that becomes data science. For example, when your question paper has some kind of a misinterpretation, कोई mistake થઈ ગઈ છે પેપર પ્રિન્ટિંગ માં, એક્ઝામ વખતે પેપર આવી ગયું, how do we know કે આ જ ક્વેશ્ચન પૂછવાનો છે, મારે આ વાત જવાબ લખવાનો છે? Because that's a data which you have processed with your learning, that this is how you are supposed to answer to that particular query, right?
So now the data science, what we should learn. So the I think it is computer programming and statistics.
No, even computer programming at this particular stage is not necessary. It's the recognition of the pattern. તો મારી જગ્યાએ અહીંયા સ્ટેજ ઉપર આવી અને આ પબ્લિક માંથી એક પર્ટિક્યુલર કોઈ પેટર્ન જોઈએ, then you are a data scientist. જેમ કે હું જોઈ રહ્યો છું કે જે મિડલ રોઝ છે, મિડલ કોલમ્સ છે, બધી એમાં કન્ટિન્યુઅસલી સપોઝ કોઈ સુઈ ગયું છે કે કોઈ મોબાઈલ ફોન જોયો, because they are not interested into my history. એટલે એના માટે મારે શું કરવું પડ્યું કે I recognize that data, I processed it, અને એ પ્રમાણે પછી મારે મારું લેક્ચર છે એ લાઈવ ની અંદર ટ્રાન્સફોર્મ કર્યું. Why did I ask the question that shall I stop my presentation? કેમ કે જ્યારે મને કોઈ ડેટામાંથી એવું ઇનપુટ મળે છે કે મારા પ્રેઝન્ટેશનમાં કદાચ કોઈ ઇન્ટરેસ્ટેડ નથી, why should I spend more time? But જ્યારે તમે મને રિસ્પોન્સ આપ્યો, no, you should continue. And that response came from whom? Those people who were busy with something else, and I drew their attention towards me. That is data science. And pattern recognition આ સ્ટ્રક્ચરમાંથી, અનઓર્ગેનાઇઝ્ડ વેમાંથી જે સેન્સ સ્કિલ ડેવલપ કરવી, અને ત્યાર પછી એની અંદર કોમ્પ્યુટર સાયન્સ or whatever advanced skills you are learning, that becomes entire data science, right?
YouTube live से भी क्वेश्चन.
हेलो सर, यूट्यूब हमारा लाइव है अभी इस समय, उससे भी कुछ क्वेश्चन हैं.
Sure.
जैसे एक रिलेटेड डेटा साइंस का ही क्वेश्चन है.
I hope that the lunch time is okay.
We have 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes. 2-3 questions only.
Okay.
Online questions.
Sure.
So डेटा साइंस से रिलेटेड सर क्वेश्चन है. वो पूछ रहे हैं कि जैसे अगर हम बायोलॉजी फील्ड से है या केमिस्ट्री फील्ड से है, तो डेटा साइंस हमें पढ़ना चाहिए, एंड इफ यस, वो किस तरह से हमें काम लग सकता है?
First of all, do not, I advise all the students that do not be a master of one. कोई वस्तुना मास्टर न बनो. If you are major into chemistry, if you are major into mathematics or any field of your research, એની સાથે સાથે તમારે એક એવી એડિશનલ તમારી સ્કિલ કે તમારી આવડત ડેવલપ કરવાની જ છે જે તમારા માટે એબ્સોલ્યુટ નેસેસરી છે ટુ સર્વાઇવ ઇન ધ નેક્સ્ટ ડેકેડ. ખાલી ને ખાલી કેમિસ્ટ્રી માસ્ટર્સ કે બેચલર્સ કે પીએચડી સફિશિયન્ટ નથી. So to those who have asked this question, my first answer is absolutely you should study the field of the data science. Now coming to studying into the data science, if I am from a chemistry background, I will try to find a recognition of the data in terms of reactions. જે પ્રકારના reactions લખેલા હશે હું એમાં પેટર્ન ગોતીશ. If I am coming from biology field, maybe મારી લેબની અંદર કદાચ 50-100 પેટ્રી ડિશ પડેલી હશે. એ પેટ્રી ડિશમાં કેવી રીતના આલ્ગી કે ફંગી કે બેક્ટેરિયા કેવી રીતના ગ્રો થયા હશે, I will try to find a pattern, and from that pattern I will try to think something, I will document something. So with each related particular field, it is necessary.
Sir, one more question. If we are from chemistry background, then BSc MSc कुछ किया है अगर, तो स्टार्टअप अगर करना है किसी को, तो किस तरह से कर सकते हैं?
I think that was action where I gave $1 million ideas, right?
This is online question.
Yeah. But during my talk, I had discussed with the students over here the potential ideas which were there on my slides. But again, I'm repeating something that with the qualification, you cannot combine your startup. If you have tremendous skill to develop your own learning field into a business, that's very good. But if you are thinking of a startup which is unrelated to your field, then you need to have more efforts, more learning to dedicate to your startup, right? So with that, even from a chemistry background, if you want to make perfumery product, that's $1 billion industry. If you want to make an agrochemical, that's $1 billion industry, right? Even into the field of physics or mathematics. These are all potential ideas for next 25 years where you can build your own startups.
Especially chemistry.
And especially chemistry. That's what I say, that from the chemistry background, if you have a potential idea from your own field, then you need to now think about of a startup which can be sustainable or if there is no competition. જો તમે એ કરી શકતા હો તમારા ખુદના નોલેજથી તમારો સ્ટાર્ટઅપ, then it's an excellent thing. Only thing to worry is the funding. પણ તમારા knowledge domain સિવાયનો જે સ્ટાર્ટઅપ છે, then you need to more focus on the startup part. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I request Professor Shoda sir to participate in? Sir, thank you so much for the good session and a real good brainstorming session also. Are you open to remember? Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Director sir, please, and Professor Arun Bedi sir to felicitate him. To carry memory of this event, sir. Thank you so much, sir. May I call now Professor Rajendra Prajapati, sir, chairperson of today's event. May I request Aparna ma'am to felicitate him. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all the keynote speakers for a wonderful session. And now I will request Maths department to be present here. Maths oral presentations will start now. And rest of them can proceed further for lunch. Maths department presentation will be now, right now, in this hall only. And after maths, life science will start. So they quickly have the lunch and come back. We will start our oral presentation now only.
मैथमेटिक्स की जो ओरल प्रेजेंटेशन है हम अभी शुरू कर रहे हैं, तो जिनका ओरल प्रेजेंटेशन प्रेजेंटेशन है आपकी यहाँ पर सबमिट करवा दीजिए और यहाँ पर आप प्रेजेंटेशन हो जाए उसके बाद आप खाना खाने के लिए चले जाना। तो अभी मैथ्स के प्रेजेंटेशन यहाँ शुरू हो जाते हैं, मैथ्स के जैसे कंप्लीट होगा उसके बाद हम लाइफ साइंस शुरू कर देंगे। तो प्लीज मैथमेटिक्स स्टूडेंट्स बी सीटेड, जिनका पोस्टर है वो उठा सकते हैं। मैथ्स में भी अगर आपके पोस्टर है वो उठा सकते हैं। ओरल प्रेजेंटेशन वालों को यही बैठना है अभी।
that there is lack of resources or there is lack of possibilities outside. We have to take that as a challenge and reinvent. Any scientific invention or innovation was not brought about by going with the current. It was inevitably brought about by going against the current. When you question something, when you say no, this is not enough, I need more. So I believe that you have a very good set of faculty, you have a very good set of an incubating kind of an ecosystem. The board is there, we will help you with whatever can take this particular thread forward. And I'm sure that if we put in our effort together, if we are simply restless, if we take ourselves and our work seriously, and if we want to pursue our dreams, regardless of what happens outside, we will definitely succeed.